We would like to thank the following co-presenters: Microsoft, Manulife, Filta Global, Gold Sponsor, Prospol, Silver Sponsor, Apper.ph, Participating Communities: AWS User Group Philippines, PWA Pilipinas, Angular Philippines, DigitalOcean Manila, Mozilla Philippines, Philippine Web Designers Organization, Product PH, Python Philippines, Women Who Code Manila, DevCon, Drupal Pilipinas, ulap.org, Ministry of Testing Philippines, React.js Philippines, Syntactics Pink, VR Philippines, WordPress User Group Philippines, Supporting Communities, Bicol IT, Google Developers Group Cagayan de Oro, Internet Society Philippines Chapter, Mobile.net Developers Philippines, UXPH, and Pizza Pie. To everyone, thank you! We would like to thank the following co-presenters: Microsoft, Manulife, Filta Global, Gold Sponsor, Prospol, silver sponsor. Apper.ph. Participating communities. AWS User Group Philippines, PWA Pilipinas, Angular Philippines, DigitalOcean Manila, Mozilla Philippines, Philippine Web Designers Organization, Product PH, Python Philippines, Women Who Code Manila, DevCon, Drupal Pilipinas, ulap.org, Ministry of Testing Philippines, React.js Philippines, Syntactics Pink, VR Philippines, WordPress User Group Philippines, Supporting Communities, Bicol IT, Google Developers Group Cagayan de Oro, Internet Society Philippines Chapter, Mobile.net Developers Philippines, UXPH, and Pizza Pie. To everyone, thank you!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the third day of our Philippine Tech Week 2021. And today is Wednesday, it's May 19, 2021, and our session for today is freelancing in tech. But first of all, I am Ginangelo De Jesus and I'm currently working full-time as a marketing manager for an IT company in Pasig City. And I would like to apologize for the angle of my camera. So it's built in na po sa aking laptop. And yes, so today is Wednesday and our session is freelancing in tech. And I think nabasa nyo na dun sa Discord channel natin na meron tayong community quiz. And I think may mga nagja-join na sa ating community quiz. So just log in to myquiz.com and enter the code. This is the code, so 959235. And we will choose 5 winners of 500 pesos Grab Food voucher. So it's very timely and relevant today or tonight, this evening kasi syempre, marami na sigurong gutom sa atin and once na manalo ka ng 500 pesos Grab Food voucher, so pwede ka nang umorder while you are watching or while you are streaming here in Philippine Tech Week 2021. So the questions will be multiple choice. So we will have 10 questions, and it is answerable within 20 seconds. And just a gentle reminder to please put your full name dun sa ating joinmyquiz.com, because it's very important for you to claim yung prize mamaya after this session. So you can claim your prize in bit.ly/PHTechWeek 2021 prizes. So if hindi nyo po nilagay yung registered name nyo sa ating community quiz, so baka hindi nyo maklaim yung prize nyo. So that's just a gentle reminder for everyone. So we will start our quiz by 6:03. So I think we only have a few seconds left before we start the community quiz. So be sure to join using the code 959235. Okay. Okay, it's 6:03. Are we starting the quiz now? Okay, let's just wait for the others that are joining. I think we will now flash the quizzes.com. And I think mukhang marami nang sumasali and marami nang gustong mag-participate sa ating quiz. So, I think we can now start. So, gentle reminder po na use your full name when joining joinmyquiz.com using the code 959235. We'll start in a few. And before that, we would like to thank our sponsors, Manulife, Microsoft, Filta, and our gold sponsor, Prospel and Upper.ph. Okay, so I think we can now start our community quiz. So ang dami na sumasali. Ayan, marami na rin sumagot. Ayan, time is up. So ang sagot po, ayan, so start na pala yung quiz. Ang leaderboard natin, so nangunguna si Francis Alarcon. And ang nakasagot ng tama is Sampula po. Ayan. So next question. Online shopping is common nowadays, but in 1995, this e-commerce giant was a small personal auction site for its creator. Ayan, ano kaya yung sagot? Ayan, marami nang sumasagot sa atin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time is up. So ang ating leaderboard, so nangunguna pa rin si Francis Alarcon, followed by Jenny Ablog. Okay, now for the next question. 3, 2, 1. Google's original name was Google. Ayan, ang bilis natin sumagot. Ayan, so answers are coming. 9 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. For our leaderboard, nagbago ba? Ayan, congratulations pa rin sa ating top 1 na si Francis Alarcon. So ang answer is false. For the next question, how many bones are there in human body? Ilan kaya? Five seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. Let's see kung nabago ba yung ating leaderboard. So we still have Francis, Jenny, and Mark. So ang answer is 206. Next question. So what was the first feature animated film ever released? Wow. Do you have anything under the sun questions here aside from tech questions? Ano kaya ang sagot? 2, 1. So, tingnan natin ang ating leaderboard. Okay, so nangunguna pa rin si Francis, Jenny, Hannah, and Mark Anthony. So, 25 yung nakatama. So, Snow White and the Seventh Dwarf. Next question. What does CIOS stand for? Six seconds. And 1. Time is up. Okay, let's see. Leaderboard natin. So, pumalit si Jenny sa ating leaderboard. So, ang tamang answer is Basic Input-Output System. Next question. 3, 2, 1. Who was responsible for the creation of the Night King Game of Thrones? Sino ba yung mga fans natin ng Game of Thrones dyan? So, I'm sure you know the right answer to this. So you only have 5 seconds left to answer. 2, 1. Let's see. Okay, time is up. Let's see the leaderboard. So, pumalit si Mark Anthony Yabis for the top, and the correct answer is 2 chicken of the forest. 2 children. The children of the forest. Sorry. Ayan, next question. Netflix most watched. Sino ba yung mga nagbe-binge watch ngayon? Ano ba yung most watched natin dyan? So you only have 5 seconds left to answer. 0. Time is up. Let's see the leaderboard. Okay, for the top, nag-iba si Yas, Jenny, and Mark. So the answer is The Witcher. Next question. Highest grossing actress of all time? Sino nga ba? Parang ang tricky ng question kasi popular yung 4 na yan. 5 seconds left. Let's see the leaderboard. Time is up. So, nagbago ba ang ating leaderboard? So, ang nangunguna pa rin is si Yas, Genesis, B, and Jenny. So, the answer is Jennifer Lawrence. Next question. I think that's the last question. So, let's see the leaderboard. Sino ba ang nanalo ng 500 pesos grab food voucher from Philippine Tech Community? Okay, congratulations, Yas, Versane, Genesis P, and ayun, si Jenny Ron Ablog. Ayan, so thank you for joining us in community quiz. So maraming competitive na sumali and sila po yung nanalo. So I think 5 yung pipiliin natin. So we still have Mark Anthony and she won as our winners. But the technical committee will check kung sino ba yung nanalo sa community quiz natin. Okay. And I think we can now go over dun sa ating panel discussion. So, ayan. So once again, I am Jinangla Jesus, and welcome to the 3rd day of our PH Tech Week 2021. Okay, we're done with our community quiz. Okay, so before pala ng ating panel discussion, we will have introduction to what is PH Tech Community Week. So actually, ang ating PH Tech Week, ang theme natin for this week is building skills and better careers through tech community. And with this year's theme, the members, the member organizations of Philippine Tech Community put the spotlight on honing the skills not just of its members, but also of each and every Filipino during these trying times. Featured sessions include keynotes, talks, and workshops organized by different member communities representing technologies from all corners of the industry. And of course, we will have the information about PH Tech Community Leads. So the PH Tech Week is organized by the Philippine Tech Community Leads, or a group of leaders that aims to produce and empower tech community leaders through continuous advocacy, collaboration, and education to improve IT skills and culture in the Philippines. And for you guys, sa mga nanonood sa atin, so to know more about PH Tech Community, just visit our website, phtechcommunity.org. Ayan. So this event will not be possible without our sponsors. For our co-presenter, we have Microsoft. For our co-presenter pa rin, Manulife and Filta as a co-presenter pa rin. And for our gold sponsor, we have Rockful. And for silver sponsor, we have Upper.pa. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Ayan, for tonight. And as a walkthrough sa nangyari sa ating week, so nung Monday, we had current trends for productivity. And yesterday, we had tech career paths. Ayan, so that's May 18. And tonight, we will be having freelancing in tech. And tomorrow, that's Thursday, we will have upskill initiatives. And on Friday, that's May 21, 2021, Future Tech and Future of Work. And on the last day, that's Saturday, so we will have Growing Through Communities. So that's just a simple walkthrough sa mga nangyari and mangyayari pa sa ating PH Tech Week 2021. And speaking of hashtag PH Tech Week 2021, so we will have our photos of the day raffle. So mamimili po tayo ng 5 winners of 1,000 pesos Lazada vouchers. So sa mga mahilig mag-Lazada dyan, just post a photo highlighting your experience or thoughts of PH Tech Week using the hashtag PH Tech Week 2021. So dito po kami mamimili ng mananalo. So we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Just a reminder, so dapat naka-public yung post nyo. So hindi yung naka-only me, friends only, or friends except your family members. So dapat po naka-public yung ating post, and the more photos you post, the more entries you get. So we will choose 5 lucky winners of 1,000 pesos Lazada vouchers. And sa mga mananalo, you can claim your prizes via bit.ly/PHTechWeek2021 prizes. And aside from this raffle, photos of the day raffle, we will have decoded raffle. So this time naman, we will choose 5 winners of 300 pesos Grab food vouchers. So this raffle is open to everyone attending any Tech Week session from 6 p.m. to 6:16 na. So just go lang. So join kayo sa decoded raffle namin hanggang 9 p.m. today. And during the session, a code will be flash dyan sa gilid or sa ibaba ng ating screen, and you can submit the code via bit.ly decoded raffle, and 5 winners nga po ang mananalo ng 300 pesos Grab food voucher. And winners will be announced at the closing program and on social media. It's nice. And of course, if manalo kayo, you will receive an email from us on regarding the details on how to claim your prizes. So just sit back, relax, and listen and watch what yung ipa-flash natin sa screen for our decoded raffle. And next, we will have our Accenture Career Survey. So this time naman, we will choose 6 winners of five 500 share treats voucher. So yung share treats, so I'm sure may mga gumagamit yan. May mga nakiklaim sa Jollibee, Grab, Shopee, Lazada, and many more. So this raffle is open to all PH Tech Week 2021 participants. And as I have said before or a while ago, we will choose 6 lucky winners of 500 pesos share treats vouchers. And we will be announcing the winners at the end of PH Tech Week. So I'm sure you guys are all excited for our raffles and of course for today's session, Freelancing in Tech. So without further ado, I think we can now start the panel discussion to be led by Miss Haifa. So take it away.
Hello, everyone. So thank you so much, June, for the introductions. My name is Haifa, and I am I am one of the leaders of DevCon at the moment. And for this session, we are going to have freelancing in tech. So a lot of you are excited about on learning about freelancing, especially today. So many of you are asking, I have a day job, but I want extra income, so they go to freelancing. A lot of you are also doing freelancing already, like you're doing multiple work, multiple freelance gigs, and it's also working great for you. Now, for our panelists for this evening, we have 3 of the community folks that we really look up to, and they're very experienced in this topic. So the first one is one of the community leaders of Philippine Web Designers Organization, Dre Alquiros. Say hi, Dre.
Hello.
Ayun. And next one naman is he is the founder of, wait, hindi ko makita yung slides. Hold on. Ayan. So he is the founder of WordPress Baguio Users Group. Please welcome Jason Bruno.
Hello.
Ayan. And finally, we have, by the way, so if Jason is from far north, I'm currently in Makati. If Jason is in far north, we also have someone from far south. So he is the president of DevCon Davao. Everyone, welcome Jmar Somosot.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
All right. So to start the discussion, can you just do for our audience this evening? Can you guys do a quick little introduction lang about yourself right now? What are you doing at the moment? Maybe we can start with Jason.
Sure. So at the moment, I'm taking on like projects, and then I'm keeping some of my old clients. And kasi since pandemic, nag-stop na kami nung classes ko. We tried to move online sa coding bootcamp, pero mahirap talaga. So we just stopped until further na announcements from the government kapag pwede na.
Okay, thank you so much, Bruno. Next one, Dre.
Hello ulit. So, currently, I have a full-time job, a part-time job, and a freelance job. Medyo madaming ganap. Yep. So far.
Ayun. Sige. And then Jmar.
Hello, good evening again, everyone. I'm currently working, kaka full-time lang, a few weeks ago. but I've been with the company for almost 5 or 6 years now. And then I'm also doing technical consultancy for some schools as a freelancer, and then yun, mga side projects. And then at the same time, doing my volunteer thing with DevCon Davao and also with Davao Linux User Group here. That's all.
All right. So thank you so much. Now for our first question related na sa freelancing. How do you define freelancing and when and how did you start freelancing? So maybe we can start this time with Dre. Dre, can you share your story?
Nakakagulat naman yung pagpili mo ng kung sinong first. So I started a definition mo na ng freelancing. Diba?
Yes.
So I think the definition of freelancing is more of you don't want to be tied with one company. So you want to work for different clients and have different types of projects with them. I think that's my definition of freelancing. I started freelancing in 2011. So accidental lang siya. A family friend parang wanted me to do their website. And then I said at first, okay lang na free kasi wala pa naman akong experience, kaka-graduate ko lang. And then she insisted na bayaran ko. And then that led to other connections of hers. Doon na nag-start. And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
To now. So,
up till now. Sunod-sunod na, no? Sabay-sabay
Sunod-sunod na.
pa.
Yeah.
Sige. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Sige. Thanks, Jay. Go ahead.
Well, on my own freelancing kasi, basically, it means para sa akin racket gig. So, I started way back siguro college pa. Kasi when I was in college, I was working as a laboratory assistant ng University of Mindanao. And some of those, yung mga nagpapatulong, ginawang racket. Yung mga nagpapatulong ng mga projects na mga student as a tutor, ayon. And then as time goes by, I wasn't aware na I'm already doing freelancing until the time na yung I started on hardware na nagre-repair ng mga PC units. So on call, ayon. And then pagdating ng mga around 2010, 2011, I've been doing online freelancing talaga, no? Doing VA stuff, administrative stuff. Ayon.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Jay. Jason?
Yeah, so parang without mentioning the age, I started around early 2000s. So yeah, even before WordPress started, before ipanganak yung WordPress, I already started doing websites using yung predecessor ng WordPress. And then I think when you say like hustling, freelancing, racket gig, I actually started way younger because I have this entrepreneurial mindset. So it's actually about you taking projects and getting paid for it, of course. Because if you're not getting paid for it, it's not going to be sustainable, diba? Unless yun nga, they would probably refer somebody who would pay you later on. So for me, the definition of freelancing is hustling. So yeah, and then I started around like early 2000s. That's it.
Sige. And then, Jason, how did... okay, sige. One more question. So you've been doing freelancing, no, for quite some time na. And this question is for everyone naman. So far, in all those years, multiple rackets, multiple hustling, what are the things that you've learned so far until today? Ayun, can you share siguro mga 3 things that you've learned so far with your freelancing gigs? Ayun. Maybe Jason?
Yeah, sure. Sige. So first thing, time management. So you have to manage your time. You have to be able to figure out how to when to do things and how to do it. Next is work smart. What I mean by working smart is it's not always 1:1. Sometimes like Dre, pwedeng sabay-sabay yung mga clients mo. Pero you just have to manage it and then you have to work smart. It's not outsmarting the system, but it's about getting more productive with limited amount of time. And then last one is always upskill. So if you're not growing, if hindi mo, parang as we say, as like I'm a head teacher of a coding bootcamp, ang sinasabi lang namin lagi is if hindi mo tinatawanan yung code mo from last year, you're not improving. So yeah. Three
Yeah,
lang,
thank you
tama?
so Yes, three. So just to recap what Jason said, no. So one is really on the time management. The other one is you have to work smarter, and finally, always upskill. All right. So the next one, anyone can share. Raymar? Oh, yeah. Sige.
Same, halos similar lang dun kay ano yan, same lang sa kanya. Kaya lang, siguro ang pinagkaiba lang sa akin is dun yung more on organization. Kasi if you have several projects kasi, you need to know how to organize stuff. Kasi minsan naglalabo-labo na hindi mo ma-distinguish yung alin dito yung dapat mong submit on this kind of project. Lalo na dun sa mga projects na time-bound. So, ayun, yun lang yung parang kaiba ko dun sa first three.
Sige. So organizational skills, no. So that's one of the things that you really learned during freelancing. How about Dre?
Actually, more of the same thing. Pero I think yung pinaka-important is yung time management for me, number one. Kasi nga, madaming trabaho. Workaholic. So you need to know how to manage your time, when to do this, based dun sa mga time-bound deadlines nila. Like, kung ano yung ipa-prioritize mo, you should know how you're supposed to do that. And number two, you should never commit to something na hindi mo kayang gawin. And then number three, always have a contract with your freelance clients. Yun yung pinaka, I think, natutunan ko in the past years. Yung contract, dapat laging meron.
Okay, sige, contract. Sige, pinaka-curious ako dun sa contract, Dre, no? With that one, so freelancing kasi, di ba, parang you're the boss of your own arrangement. So sa contract, can you elaborate more on that one? So I think that's one of the critical things then now if ever someone wants to explore freelancing, first, anong gagawin ko sa contract? Kailangan ba may contract? Ano ilalagay ko doon? Like, how would you start? Can you share more about the contracts part?
So, yeah, yung contracts part is basically a document protecting you from not getting paid. Or it states the scope and limitations of what you're supposed to do, kung hanggang saan lang yung gagawin mong website, kung anong features lang yung nandun, kung kailan sila magbabayad, if it's milestone-based, kung magkano yung kailangan mong bayad before you start, and kung ano yung mga parang safety measures and safety precautions mo along the way na if they, pag lumagpas sila sa scope and limitations, kung ano yung gagawin doon, pag hindi sila nagbayad, ano yung gagawin doon. So parang it's a document that protects you from if ever your client is from hell.
Sige. So how about for others, Jaymar and Jason, do you have anything to add on the topic of contracts?
Yeah, so sa contract, I think isa sa since I handle both long-term clients and one-off projects. So one-off projects, yeah, kailangan natin ng definite scope and everything. Pagdating sa mga long-term, you have to be able to understand na you will be an independent contractor. So freelancers are contractors, and you have to sign agreements with the company, and of course with that is you have to have some legal responsibilities as well, not only to the company but to the government kasi you have to pay taxes. So yun lang yung pagkakaiba, that for you to be legally doing business with companies as a contractor is you have to pay your taxes.
All right. Jaymar, you have anything to add?
Yes, to add lang yung mostly kasi sa akin, yung based on my experience, yung mga contract ko kasi is more on a retainer contract. Kasi I'm working as a sysops engineer. So, and also at the same time as a technical consultant talaga. So, ang nangyayari kasi dun sa mga contract, I'm not sure. Kasi minsan kasi dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ganon ka-expose yung parang contract with freelancers, lalo na local. Kasi, kumaga minsan hindi din binding kasi minsan nga, yung maraming mga hinahanap na dapat ano ba yun, yung nakasid daw with government something. So, minsan,
Unauthorized?
notarized kasi para legal, lalo na pag meron ng big monetary involvement. So,
Bawal DigiSign.
Bawal e-sign.
Kaya nga eh. So mostly lang siguro na nakalagay doon is more on the agreement, like usually NDA. Yun yung siguro yung importante, lalo na data privacy. You're working on something na gumagather ng data. So yun, importante talaga contract. Sa sinabi na nga before na safety net mo din yun. Pero I doubt, for me, on my own opinion, hindi kasi lahat talaga na-establish, lalo na pag sa local. International kasi parang formality na lang talaga, for you have something to go back on whenever you have dispute. Yun lang. But to parang i-enforce mo, parang hindi masyadong, wala pa akong phrase na talagang totally enforce yung contract.
Sige. So, related din sa contract, di ba sa contract, we also have the agreement. For sure, nilalagay din natin doon yung regarding payments naman. We have an interesting question here naman from Coach Rhino. So, let's have it flashed. As a freelancer, what's better in your experience? Pay per hour or per project? Ayun. So, may mga questions kasi dito na related sa specific questions. So, I'd like to pull them out kasi para align tayo pa rin sa topic. Anyone feel free to jump in? You want to answer this question?
I can start.
Okay, there you go.
It actually depends. So it depends on what's the work that needs to be done. If it's something, sa akin, in my opinion, if it's something that's going to happen from scratch and you're going to do it end to end, it's better na it's paid as an entire project. But if it's something like for example, you're just going to maintain something or you're going to continue what somebody else has done, then I would go for the per hour. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Dre. Jason, Jmar?
Sa akin, I normally charge per hour, even if it's going to be a big project. Kasi bibigyan ko rin naman sila ng quote. So with the quote, especially with like Americans kasi mahilig sila. They don't care about the price; they care about the timeline more. So when they ask for a ballpark, it's not a ballpark of the cost; it's ballpark of the hours. So doon ko na rin minamatch yun. So kapag ka nag-quote ako ng project, usually kino-quote ko siya by the hour, and then i-multiply ko na lang siya sa hourly rate. So even though if it's a project, it will be per hour.
Sige. Thank you so much for that, no, Jay?
Halos similar lang din kay Jason. Kasi yung most of my project naka per hour eh. Unless it's a fixed monthly retainer. Depending on what the company wants or the individual needs or from the system administration na i-render ko.
Sige. And then related pa rin dyan, no? So this is one of the usual kasi, parang interesting areas of freelancing. We have another question now here related sa rates naman. This is from Rem Lampa. How do you compute your rates naman? So, di ba, depende, Dre mentioned na pwede siya fixed mo yung isa, the other one is per hour. For the three of you, how do you guys compute your rates? Sige, we can start. Sige, Jason, go.
Sige, mahirap talaga magtanong si Rem. Shout out. Pero yeah, sige, sa rates, it's actually based on how fast you can deliver. Kasi yun lang yung that's how you defend yung rate mo. So say you could deliver faster than anyone else, you could for sure charge higher. Kasi in the end, the client gets their project done faster, and they probably would save some money out of it because of the time saved. So answering the question, how do I compute for my rate? I normally compute everything times two. So
Times two.
yes, kapag ka bibili ng domain, ako pa yung bibili ng domain, ako pa yung bibili ng template sa Team Forest, I normally multiply everything times two.
Okay. How about for Dre?
Uh, Tricky question. How do I compute my rates? I think what I did before was I computed everything that I need to be able to work on a certain day. So how much is my coffee? Um, how much is my computer? How much is my electricity? How much is my everything that comprises of your day that's going to help you do your work, including your vape juice, your cell phone, so everything that you need talaga. And then divided by how many hours per day you work times two. Also, same as Jason. So times two. And then, so if it takes, for example, an entire week to do a project, so it's that daily rate times seven, then times two again. And then if gusto nila na mas mabilis siya matapos, times two again. Rush fee. Yun, that's how. Yun yung pinaka-simplest way for me to explain it nang walang numbers.
Alright, sige. How about Jay?
Yung akin yung halos similar lang. Siguro, the simple way to put it is that sinabi ni Dre na you compute your operational expense, and then with your operational expenses mo, with that certain project, idagdag mo yung parang base, yung parang current base mo na rate. I get my rate kasi based on what's in the market. Chine-check ko muna ano yung current per hour na rate for this kind of job. And then, syempre, hindi naman natin pwede i-rate based on the US standard. Although US yung client mo, US standard. Kasi hindi ka din naman mo kasi marami kang kompetensya. So, ginagawa ko, I go on the average rate. And then, on top of that is my operational expense rate. Ayun.
Okay, sige. So I hope that our panelists gave everyone an idea on how you are going to compute your rates. Now, related naman, so we've covered yung sa rates na part. Now, let's go into finding clients. We have one good question then here from Andrew Garcia. Do you use any freelancing sites, or where do you get your clients? Ayun. Anyone can first share their answer. Sige. Maybe let's start with Jay.
On my end, as of the moment kasi hindi ako talaga naghahanap. Mostly kasi ng mga nagiging client ko or yung mga referral na. Partly because I'm in a tech community. So marami na nakakilala, they tend to refer na lang. So yun yung mostly sa for website naman, when I started way back, siguro nagsimula ako doon sa, meron pa atang Elance nun eh. Elance, that's still existing pa naman, di ba? O iba na ba?
Yung EO.
Basta yung mga freelance, ngayon meron online jobs, meron, pero mostly, ang filter ko lang na part-time and freelance. Hindi yung full-time. And sometimes, may mga offer na full-time, ang ginagawa ko, may message ko pa din, and I do ask them if open ba siya for retainer na project or retainers. So, yun lang. Yung nagawa ko.
Okay, sige. Who wants to go next?
Akin same lang, retainers, yung mga referrals. So, most ng mga clients ko is going to be coming from referrals na lang. So, how I got here is first you have to invest in doing like a good job, very good job, enough for people to refer you to others. Another thing that I find more successful than joining platforms, I'm not against it, but I don't use it, is to just contribute to the community, contribute open source code, contribute to like helping others sa Stack Overflow instead of just taking from Stack Overflow, um, magbigay ka rin ng ayon sa kakayanan mo.
Ayun. Sige, I really like that. No? Speaking of Stack Overflow, there was a time din na parang one of my motivation during that time was yung points ng Stack Overflow. So it feels really good pag tumataas na
Yeah.
tumataas yung mga points mo dun. Ayun. So really, it's referral, no? And then one of the things then is you do a good job and then the other one nga is contribute. How about you, Dre?
Same with Jason, I don't use any freelancing sites. So, as mentioned then before, I was able to start, or I got started into freelancing because somebody just referred me to somebody. And then from there, yeah, it's correct that you have to do a good enough job for people to want to refer you to others. So, naging word of mouth na lang siya until I finally thought of broadcasting myself as a freelancer to friends and family friends. So, syempre, from there, it's word of mouth and then you have to do a good job para hindi mapahiya yung nag-refer sa'yo and i-refer ka nila sa iba. Yeah. So, now I work mostly for Singaporean and US clients through word of mouth. I didn't get them in any freelancing sites.
Wow. So it's really something na, no? As you can see, everyone, na parang in terms of pattern, it's really on the referral side. So we also have related din naman sa clients. We have one question here from Romar. Mayor Micabalo, how do you identify a quote-unquote difficult client early during negotiations prior to landing the contract? So maybe we can start with Jason.
Sometimes you really cannot. Sometimes okay silang kausap sa simula, pero pagdating sa dulo ng patapos na yung project, sakala nagkakaganon. So it's a matter of how do you know when to say quits. So ganon. So yun nga, contracts would help you even though hindi mo kilala yung kausap mo kasi a lot of freelancers don't know that the currency of the internet is actually not crypto or money or anything, it's trust. So you have to trust first that the person you're talking to is a good person, and then sign a contract if needed. And then once things go a little off, then it's up to you to decide. Is it that's how business goes. Any business, it's a matter of when do you decide to give a client up. So it's okay to fire clients in the middle of the project. It's okay. So a lot of people would think na ikaw lang yung sinisistante ng kliyente. No, it's okay to do the other way around. It's okay to fire clients.
Ayun. It's a good insight na when you say na usually you would think na pag you're a freelancer, ikaw yung pwede ma-fire, but actually you also have the power to also fire your clients. All right, next one. Dre, would you like to share your thoughts?
I think tama naman na minsan you won't be able to say that this person is a difficult client kasi pagkausap mo maayos. Then, I think I had an experience once na he approved the design and then kalagitnaan ng project, pinabago niya yung buong design, which was not part of the scope, which was in the contract. So again, the contract saved my life. Pero there are times also na prior to landing the contract, a certain client would ask, bakit mahal to? Madali lang naman to. Can you break down kung bakit ganito yung naging price nitong certain task na to? Ganun. So, pag ganun yung nangyayari, and then even after me explaining why it's like that, and he still questions it, that's the time na para sa akin, this person is a difficult client na kung as early as now, kini-question na niya yung mga bagay-bagay, what more in the future while I'm working with him. So, parang yung initial trust na kailangan nating ma-accomplish bago tayo magsimula ng project, nawawala. So, I don't get it. So, I don't sign anything and I don't agree to do his website or whatever.
All right, thank you so much for that. Dre, how about you, Jmar?
Sa akin naman, yung during negotiation kasi, di ba, dadaan naman talaga ayon na series of interview with the client. I tend to be more assertive asking stuff, lalo na pag alam ko hindi, like tinatry ko tingnan if that client has a knowledge of the things that I will be doing, the service that I will do for him or her. So, ina-assess ko. If wala talaga siyang idea, I tend to be blunt to him na there might some terms or mga kailangan gawin or kailangan i-subscribe, like mga subscribe na mga services na needed talaga for to para matapos yung project or para magawa yung certain project. And dun pa lang, pag medyo skeptical na, so I shift into sige, let's try using open source. But then pag yun pa din parang hindi pa rin siya nako-convince. So I tend to tell na lang the client that this is exactly according to your needs. This is exactly what I can offer. And then if you're beyond that, if you can't understand, kasi nga minsan kasi sa mga client akala nila, yun nga, madali lang. Yun pala, sinasabi ko sa nila, if you think this easy, can you do it yourself? Or someone from your company do it yourself? If not, so hire a professional. Because you'll be spending more hiring someone who is incompetent kasi. So yun yung parang, talagang assertive ako on the negotiation part. Kasi you're wasting time eh. Pag you go on a project, tapos on the middle, mag-i-end naman.
Sige. Thank you so much for that, Jay. Now we have another question naman that medyo different naman yung question niya. This is from Freyax. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this one right. Freyax was. So what's the process, sir? What's the process doing freelancing? The flow. Like picture, design, domain name, the rest, a hierarchy with that. Actually, hindi ko pala na-get. Pero, sige. How I understand this is that what's the process na lang of doing freelancing for you guys? Ayun. Sige. Maybe we can start with Jay this time.
Process. On my part kasi nga, you tend to know more of the project, the client. So, I usually, whenever someone tries to hire or parang gusto kunin yung service ko, ang ginagawa ko is I tend to ask for the JD, the job description. Yung talaga una hinahanap ko kasi doon ko binibase kung kaya ko ba yung mga ipapagawa niya. Kasi meron kasi, alam mo naman, lalo na sa cloud computing na part, usually when they tend to find cloud engineers, nagde-develop na, parang nagiging all-rounder ka into the cloud. So, talagang hinahanap ko, saan yung specific? At what part of your company or what part ng service you really need so ayun, yun yung una hinahanap ko, JD. And then second part, yun nga, tinatry ko saan area at in-check ko saan area, US, UK, kasi I tend to rate that according to what yung area, yung base average salary for a certain freelancer doon. So, ayun. And then lastly, yun nga, yung contract. Never enter in a project na walang contract. Yun ang ginagawa ko.
Sige, thank you so much for that, Jay. How about Jay? Ano yung flow mo when doing freelancing?
Yung flow, so, ano ba? Step-by-step flow. So parang, when you do a project kasi you are the project manager, you are the account owner, you are the developer, you are the QA, and yun. So parang you are all these people merged into one. So balik tayo sa first year college, SDLC, so Software Development Life Cycle. So doon tayo magsisimula. So first mag-establish tayo ng trust with the client to do the analysis of what needs to be done, kung ano yung mga kailangan nilang gawin, and then papasok tayo sa magkano, and then papasok tayo sa development, and then i-QA mo yung ginawa mo, and then ipapa-UAT mo sa kanya, and then babalik sa'yo for revisions, and then i-deploy, and then final payment. So I think ganun lang siya, paikot-ikot.
Okay, sige, thank you so much for that. Jay, how about Bruno? Jason.
Yeah, same lang din nung sa kanila. So the process goes as first we establish expectations. Hanapin ko muna expectation niya, and then expectation ko, and then we actually conclude the discussion with ano na ba yung natapos doon sa expectation natin. And then after that, the client goes to draft the contract while I draft the invoice. And then once we exchange the invoice and the contract and then nabayaran na, next the process no is I get all their collaterals. As soon as possible, kailangan bago ako mag-start, kompleto na yung collaterals. Like may design na ba yan, meron na ba yung Figma link. So we start there, and then that would be I would request as silent as possible for the next like so and so days, para lang hindi magulo. Once that I have something to present, then we go talk again, and then we start deciding on which paths to make, and then my questions, if I have some when I was working like with the project. And then the handover, I normally hand over either a video or a recorded video of me demoing the site, and a handover document, which is basically like a basic documentation of the project. So that's how I finish the project, and then I send an invoice again for the final payment.
All right, thank you so much for that, Jason. Now, we have something related naman, no? So it's a question from Code Monster. In terms of clients updating, is it necessary to update them every day or it depends on you? Jason? Yeah.
Okay, so it's not necessary, but communication is. So kapag nag-hi siya, yeah, say hello, say ganun. Pero updating with the project status and everything, yes, you could, but do not expect to have an answer, or do not do not force a client to answer to anything kasi baka magulo. So dun normally nangyayari yung miscommunication when you talk too much. When you talk too much, meaning when your client gets an idea in the middle of the project. And hindi natin maiwasan yan, you're talking to entrepreneurs.
Okay, so next one, maybe Dre can share.
Yeah. For updating them every day, I don't think that's advisable. Kasi nga, sabi din ni Jason kanina, part ng process or ng flow niya is may konting silence in between para hindi magulo. Para din makafocus ka sa momentum mo. For me naman, it's nakalagay dun sa kasama, gano'n ako OC, kasama sa contract ko kung kailan ako mag-update sa kanya. So, if it's a per milestone base, I will update him per milestone. Ganon. So, like everything in between, we don't talk. You expect me or you trust me to do the work that I said I will do, and then I will update you when the time comes that this milestone is complete on this certain amount of time. So, parang ganon siya. Pero yun, same. If he says hi, you say hi also. Ganon. Respect lang, courtesy, like that. Pero, if he asks for an update in the middle of a certain milestone, I just say, I haven't completed it yet, but I'll let you know once I'm done. So no updates, no sharing of anything. Kasi we also want to avoid na makita nila yung website na ongoing pa rin. Kasi parang doon pumapasok yung, ay parang mas maganda na ganito, na ganito, na ganyan. So yun nga, magugulo yung setup, magugulo yung usapan. So better na mag-set ka, ikaw mismo magsabi na, okay, this milestone, this milestone, this milestone. At this time, update kita for this milestone, this time, update kita for this milestone, and so on. So, ganun lang.
Sige. Thank you for that. How about Jay?
Halos similar lang kay Dre if I do have side projects na website talaga. But yung mga projects ko naman na more on infrastructure talaga, building, architecting talaga ng services talaga. I usually tend to give them updates. Like for me, it's really helpful kasi that you have like you use project management na like most of the time I use Jira. So minsan nakatiket kasi yung mga dinidivide ko talaga yung workload, and then para alam din ng client kahit hindi ko na siya i-message, kahit tingnan na lang what's currently in progress para hindi na ako update sa kanya. So, ayun lang ang talaga ginagawa ko. And then, every time may question siya, yung mga concerns niya naman, I do answer that by the end of the week. Yun usually ginagawa ko. For me to have ample time to check if what's one will be working according to your specs na binigay mo. If not, ayun yung ginagawa ko.
All right. So in the interest of time, we have one last question na lang. So this is what are your advice to those who are listening who want to try and explore freelancing? So maybe we can start with Jason.
I think just do it. If you think, kasi ganito yun eh, never say that you cannot do anything. Kasi our rule when I teach people when starting freelancing is think of a thing that you do a lot or you enjoy doing. Kaya lang problema is sometimes you can't trust yourself na nag-enjoy ka pala. So think of the thing that you do most of the time on your free time. Kung ano yung ginagawa mo madalas. And like 99% of the time, some people are going to willing to be paying you for that. So if you don't believe me, go look up sleeping jobs at NASA. So NASA will be paying you to sleep. Yeah, so mga ganong klase. Some people would pay you to watch TV. Some people would pay you to watch anime, read manga. So whatever it is you're doing, you're spending most of your time, somebody's willing to pay for it. It's just a matter of finding who those people are.
Okay. How about Dre?
Sa akin, I think the best advice I could give to somebody who wants to start freelancing is don't ever sell yourself short. So, there will be times na mamamahalan yung mga clients sa rates mo, and there will also be more times that they will say that I can get somebody else to do it at this price. Huwag mong pansinin yun. If they don't want to take you at the rate that you give them, you do not lower your rate for them. You look for clients or you wait for the clients who will come that will accept your rate. So, I think yun yung pinaka-best doon. Kasi may mga naging issues din in freelancing that somebody sells a website for 5,000 pesos. And then, binabato siya ng client ko sa akin, why will I pay XX thousand pesos for a website created by you when I can let this person create it for 5,000? Ang sagot doon, then why don't you go to that person and let him create your website for 5,000? And if he messes up, you can come back to my rate. So don't ever sell yourself short. Yun yung pinaka-best advice na gusto ko ibigay.
Don't sell yourself short. Okay. So how about Jay?
Ngayon naman, in addition na lang dun sa mga nasabi nila, when you're in freelancing kasi, it's hard to find your path, lalo na pag you're not familiar with the field. So usually, I do tend to join yung communities, and then one of the best thing I did when I started really tech freelancing is having a mentor. Mentorship really helps, lalo na you have someone to look up to that this is how they did when they started freelancing, and you have someone to ask, pwede bang ganito gawin ko dito sa ganong klaseng job, and yun nga, seeking advice. Ayun.
Okay, thank you so much for your time this evening, Dre, Jason, and Jay. And I hope to everyone listening, hope you learned a lot. And hopefully after this session, you would actually be trying freelancing. If you have any more questions, actually our speakers are in Discord. You can chat your questions in the general channel, and you'll never know, our speakers might also butt in and give you some advice, and also the other freelancers in the channel. Thank you so much. And now I'm turning it over to our host, June.
All right. So thank you so much, Haifa, and to our panelists for today, Dre, Jason, and Jmar. So since we are doing it virtually, let's give them a round of applause for a wonderful session. Now I am turning this session to Andre for the introduction to progressive web apps.
Hello everyone. Hi June, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Ayan.
thank you. So I will take over for a while. Okay, so hi everyone. You're still watching Teach Tech Week 2021. So welcome to Introduction to Progressive Web Apps. So before we begin, I'm going to introduce first our organization. So, PWA Pilipinas is a community for PWA enthusiasts, designers, and developers here in the country. Our mission is to introduce and nurture PWA development and adoption by bringing in subject matter experts, enthusiasts, and more in the platform. We also wanted to provide resources and engagement so that we do stimulate the interest in progressive web apps because our mission is that progressive web apps would be adopted highly here in the country. So if you wanted to learn more about progressive web apps, PWA, modern web, and more, so we do have our Facebook page, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Just search for PWA Pilipinas. And you can also send us an email at hi@pwapilipinas.org. And we also have an app. Just visit app.pwapilipinas.org, and you can also download it from the Play Store. Just search for PWA Pilipinas. So for the talk, so John Maclem Adan is our speaker for tonight. Um, he is a back-end web developer at PisaPay, a startup financial technology company here in the Philippines. Outside his work, he serves as a community content and publishing lead here at PWA Pilipinas. He also serves as the community advocacy in promoting the use and adoption of PWAs as a software development approach. He's also a registered marketing professional, a development committee officer at Algo Filipino, and he's also an enthusiast of free and open source software. So, without further ado, let's watch his talk.
Hey, hello. So, thank you for the wonderful introduction given by our host tonight. So, again, good evening, everyone who are watching us tonight live at Philippine Tech Week 2021. So, once again, I'm Lem Adan. I'm currently a web developer at PisaPay. So just to give you a quick background about my company. So we are a startup fintech or financial technology company here in the country. So we are a licensed remittance and transfer company, and we cater to both to government agencies and private companies. So like we have partnerships with banks, no, partnerships, and our core product or offering is payment gateway integration. So individuals and businesses, companies, enterprises can easily accept payments from different channels from their accept payments via different channels like LBC, 7-Eleven from their customers. So I'm also the community content and publishing lead at PWA Pilipinas, and I'm also a development officer at Algo Filipino, which is also a tech community. So tonight, um, whether you are here in this session, you're a student, you're a professional, you're a developer, an enthusiast, you're from academe or startup founder, um, we will talk about I will introduce you guys to progressive web apps. So again, welcome to our community packet event here at Philippine Tech Week 2021. So without further ado, so let's get this started. So here is a brief outline of what we will talk about tonight. So um, we will see a glance or a glimpse of the web and also the mobile landscape, before the type of PWA, and then what are the some of the good reasons why we should be building this type of app, and um, then we will briefly explain what is a PWA, some of the success stories of businesses, companies that involve developing and launching a progressive web app, and the benefits and challenges of progressive web apps, its key components, and the progressive web apps in the real world examples of progressive web apps and the PWAs in the context of the Philippine landscape. So, but before we proceed, no, let's recall a bit about the time, the era before this type of technology became a thing. So, the web is a very wonderful place, no? So, it connects people from across the globe. No? It connects us from across the world, from anywhere, any country, wherever you are in. So, it keeps us updated with our families, with our friends, and it created a technological revolution that was never before seen in our lifetime or in our history. So, and so it has certainly come a long way since it started way back in the 1980s. So, in order for us to understand the history of the web or the World Wide Web, it's important to understand ano ba yung pinagkaiba ni web, ni World Wide Web, and ni Internet. Kasi kadalasan, so people always use these two terms interchangeably. So, but honestly, actually, no, sobrang magkaiba sila na ibig sabihin. So, let's try to find out. So, the internet is a global network of networks. So, it is the network of connected computers across the globe, you know, where the web works on. While the web or the World Wide Web is the collection of information that we can see and access via the internet. So, all the things that you see, all the text, the images, the videos, the files that you see when you use a website or the web app, that's the web. So, we can also try to think of it this way. So, the internet is like the infrastructure, and then the web is like the service on top of that infrastructure. So, ngayon naman, so just a brief history of the web. No, this is not a comprehensive one. Okay, so just a very brief history. So, a British scientist named Tim Berners-Lee, he invented the World Wide Web in 1989. So, originally, ang reason niya bakit niya din-develop si web is for easy information sharing between scientists from different parts from different universities and institutes around the world. So, yun yung reason niya talaga bakit niya develop. And then, after a year, so 1990, HTML or Hypertext Markup Language was introduced. So, from then, doon na nag-start na magkaroon ng mga lumabas yung mga unang type ng website or unang mga websites. So those the websites that were developed and launched before, they look very simple, no? They have very limited features and minimal capabilities. So right now, so what you see on the screen is the world's first browser. So ganyan yung itsura niya. So puro text and then gray boxes. And then going forward 2010, no, around 2010s, the standard for websites, no, tumaas. So dati hindi lang dati okay lang na sapat na meron ka ng website, no, online presence, but when that time came, hindi siya sapat, na ganun lang. Dapat it should be responsive to every form factor, to every varying screen sizes. So whether that's mobile, that's Android, that's iPhone, that's tablet, or that's iPad, or laptop, desktop. So it should be adaptive. So Then as time goes by, web development, unfortunately, na medyo naging complex siya. It's not that I'm against frameworks and libraries, no, but depende rin kasi sa kung paano ginagamit yung mga tools, yung mga frameworks, languages, paano ginagamit ng developer sa development, ganyan. But unfortunately, may mga websites na dahil hindi masyado na manage ng maayos, bumigat sila. So and it became very challenging, especially sa mga users na hindi naman high-end sobra yung device, or or mabagal yung internet. So yun, that's the brief history of the web. Ngayon naman, let's go to the brief history of the mobile landscape. So today, our lives almost always revolves around using mobile apps, no? So it became so very integrated in our day-to-day life na we feel uncomfortable kapag wala siya sa tabi natin, kapag wala tayong dalang phone sa tabi natin. So what is the first thing that you check in the morning when you wake up, no? And what is the last thing that you also check before you go to bed, di ba? So it's your phone. So before, mobile phones were so simple, no? Pang text lang, no? Sending text, SMS, and then calls. But and then mga simpleng games lang like Snake, no, if you remember sa Nokia. But right now, ang dami nating nagagawa because of mobile apps, no, from shopping to paying bills and etc. So, and this is all made possible because of the mobile application development. So, yun. So if we try to go back, ang pinaka starting point niya talaga is the PDAs, or personal digital assistants, and then yung era ng Nokia and Motorola, ganyan, and then right now yung mga Android and iOS phones, smartphones. So if you know, no, if you're familiar with this, so the original App Store that was launched on 2008 has 500 apps. So meaning nung nilaunch yun is wala talaga siya makonsider as the very first true app or the true first app. Kasi pag launch niya, meron na siya agad 500 na naka-ready. So, and then after nun, sumunod naman si Google Play, also launched on the same year, no? Just a few months after Apple launched App Store. And then BlackBerry launched on 2009 their App World, pero unfortunately wala na sila ngayon, and the Amazon App Store launched their App Store on Amazon launched their App Store on 2011. And then those app stores give more people the ability, the capability to enjoy various apps on their smartphones. Ayun. So right now, merong two ways that two paths that we can go, no, when we will take this mobile application development path. So either we go with the Android application development by using either Kotlin, Java, or C++ programming language, and you can go the other way around by iOS mobile application development. So by using either the Swift programming language or the Objective-C programming language. Yan. So ayun yung history ng web and mobile. So ngayon, before then, no, parang it's just black and white. So it's either we will compromise the capabilities of the mobile app for a wider reach and lesser friction on the web, or we will leverage on device hardware capabilities of the mobile app, but compromising the reach that the web has. So yun, so either wider reach, go for web, but less capabilities, or go for mobile app, more capabilities but lesser reach. Yun. And then After some time in 2015 came this technology where we can develop native looking apps or native like apps that are accessible both on the mobile and desktop using only one code base. And it aims to bridge the gap between mobile apps and web apps, which we now call the PWA or progressive web apps. So, so why should we build progressive web apps? So some of the reasons are uh, it work on all form factors or devices, no? Whether that's tablet, that's mobile, desktop, and then it's also um, it can handle a lot of concurrent users because multiple users can access and use your app anywhere at the same time. And it's also platform independent, meaning it can be used on any operating system like Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, Linux. And it's cheaper to develop, and it's very accessible. And it actually even works in foldable phones, no, like Galaxy Fold and Surface Neo. By using the spanning CSS media feature, which is a CSS foldable display polyfill. So ginagamit siya to test whether the output device is a dual screen and the browser viewport is spanned across two display regions. And then yung isa pa is multi-screen window placement API, or formerly called web screen enumeration API. So it's a web functionality naman for multi-screen devices. So ito na. So progressive web app are your usual or typical web apps, but they have progressive enhancements. So they combine both the features of the web and native apps. So later on we will discuss what does progressive mean in PWA. So if ever na merong clone, na merong anak si web app and native app, that would be progressive web app. And sabi ko nga kanina, so it was introduced 6 years ago by a Google Chrome browser engineer named Alex Russell and a designer, Frances Berryman. So it's a web app that looks and feels like a native app. So it uses the latest web features. It is reliable because it works offline. It loads fast, and it can be downloaded or installed on the device without going to the App Store. And it runs on a broad range of modern browsers that are out there, and gracefully degrades when some functionalities are not available, but still able to deliver a decent user experience. So it's considered right now a new way to deliver an amazing experience, an amazing user experience on the web. It is also able to solve a lot of problems on the mobile web. So it's like having the best of both worlds. So yun, key features of a progressive web app. So what are those? So it's reliable, it loads instantly, it has an immersive user experience, and access to native device hardware features. It is searchable on the web, and smaller in size than most native mobile and desktop apps. And always have the fresh or the latest content without having to update it, no, like on the App Store. And you can keep it to your home screen or your even on your desktop screen. And it is accessible on any device. So here is a brief comparison of native apps, websites, and PWAs. So as you can see here, the lacking features of native app and responsive website or typical website are all both present in a progressive web app. So ito naman, it's a brief illustration of the uh, cross-platform nature of progressive web apps. So from what we can see here, PWAs are mobile and desktop operating system independent, whether that's Android or Mac or iOS, Windows or Linux. So right now, let's redefine the install, the concept of install. So in native apps, we're already familiar that we can discover it via going to the App Store or the Play Store, and then that's the only time that we can use the app. In PWAs, we can either scan a QR code or visit a URL, and then from that point we can already use the app. So install is required, is necessary for mobile apps, while in PWAs it's just a way to let your users or your customers re-engage with your app in their repeat or succeeding visits. So this is how a progressive web app looks like when you open it on your phone. So like dito sa Android. So example, you try to search it on Google, and then you click on the link on the link to the site, and then a prompt will appear saying that you can add it to your home screen, and then once you confirm, it will be added to the list of your apps, and then you can use it anytime. And now it has its own window, just like a native mobile app. So ngayon, let's watch this very short YouTube video of a comparison between native app, so in this case sa iOS, and then we have PWA. So I hope you can hear the audio. If not, I will explain. I will still explain along the way and throughout the video. So here we have Cozy Cafe app, we have progressive web app on the left side and native app on the right side. So we're done adding the PWA to the home screen, while we are still downloading the native the app from the App Store. So as you can see, yung mga hinihingi permissions ng mobile app, medyo nag-take ng time, kahit seconds lang. Yan. Then, second one is try to redeem an offer using the app. And then last one is loading directions using the app, Google Maps. So, we're done. So, based on that video that we just watched, so from the point of downloading the app, no, from the store, to opening it, no, and then actually using it or experiencing the app itself, we can conclude that a progressive web app delivers much better and more seamless user experience, because you can save a lot of time, dun pa lang sa pag-download and sa dun sa mismong user experience sa app. It really solves a lot of problems. So ito, babalikan na natin yung term na progressive. So, progress means a forward or onward movement toward a destination. So, in Tagalog or in Filipino, kumbaga, ano siya, pagsulong o pag-andar. So, Here is an excerpt from Alex Russell's article on Medium entitled Progressive Web Apps Escaping Tabs Without Losing Our Soul. So, ito. The website begins life as a regular browser tab. So, it doesn't have any superpowers, but it is built using progressive app features, including TLS or transport layer security, service workers, web manifests, and responsive design. So when the user frequently uses the app, the user can keep it to the device or install. Then when launched from the home screen, these apps blend into their environment. So on the device, so they're top level, they're full screen, and they work offline. So they work offline after beginning their life as a regular tab. But now the implicit contract of appiness, being like an app, makes that clear. And then this is also a quote from the same article that Alex also wrote. No, so he said these apps, so these PWAs aren't packaged and deployed through stores. They're just websites that took all the right vitamins. They keep the web's as when you need it permission model and add in new capabilities like being top level in your task switcher, on your home screen, and in your notification tray. Users don't have to make a heavyweight choice upfront and don't implicitly sign up for something dangerous just by clicking on a link. So sites that want to send notifications or be on your home screen have to earn that right over time as you use their app more and more. So from then on, they progressively become apps. So ito naman, this is an illustration of a world map. Para siyang a world map of some sort, pero sa sa landscape sa context ng progressive web apps, all over the globe. So each country has a leader or representative when it comes to progressive web apps. So sa ngayon wala pa tayo sa map, so wala pa tayong leader sa PWA here in our country, but we hope and we are looking forward soon that help us to be on that map. To everyone na nakikinig tonight. Ayan, so that's I hope that will be our goal. So and let's now look at how progressive web apps greatly benefited or helped companies. No? And also let's try to hear the stories. So Twitter was able to reduce data consumption by 70%, and then Alibaba was able to increase their user conversions by 76%, and AliExpress was able to increase their time spent of their users by 74%. And then the Washington Post, a news agency, was able to improve performance by 88%. And then OLX was able to increase user engagement by 250%. And then OpenSoup, I'm not so familiar with the company. They were able to generate 260% more leads. And Flipkart, which is the India's biggest e-commerce website, was able to increase re-engagement rates by 40%. And then Best Western River North Hotel was able to increase revenue by 300%. So AliExpress, Starbucks again. Starbucks, sabi nila their PWA is 99.84% smaller than their native app. So their PWA is only around 233 kilobytes. So that's almost 100%. That's almost 100%. And then AliExpress again. So kanina sa AliExpress, increase time spent. Yun yung ano nila. Dito naman, conversion rate for new users. So AliExpress was able to increase conversion rate for new users by 104% with new progressive web app. Ayan. So, ito na. So, let's go now to the benefits of progressive web apps. So, again, a PWA starts as a typical web app or a website in your browser but turns into native apps along the way or in the process. So, of course, its benefits are the features in capabilities that I mentioned earlier, the key features, and it's easier and faster to develop, no? Especially in the perspective of business, no, like startups, and also there's only one code base to maintain, which really makes it more cost effective, and especially for businesses that are just startups that have limited resources. So this is a very good way to go. Ayan. And its distribution platform is via URL or QR code. So this is just an illustration of the benefits of progressive web apps. So low memory size, offline mode, push notification, cross-platform, fast loading. Yan. So ito naman another comparison of the size of a PWA and a native app. So kanina we have Starbucks, which is almost 100% smaller than their native app. Ito naman is Pinterest. So Pinterest has 9.6 MB. Their Android app is 9.6 MB, and then their iOS app is 56 MB. That's quite big, very big, you know. Ang laki ng difference. And then their progressive web apps, it's just 150 kilobytes. So here, progressive web apps, they actually sit in your applications, in your smartphone's application manager. Now, if you're going to, if you have already tried downloading a PWA, you can actually see them on your application manager, in your Android or in your iPhone. So, na parang just like native apps, no, you can see them listed there. So, kanina merong benefits of course, wala namang perfect na technology. So, syempre meron din mga challenges. So, una yung store availability. So, yun. So, although when it comes to store availability, medyo I think hindi na siya masyadong issue ngayon, no, at least because like the Microsoft Store, you can already deploy your PWAs there if you're a developer, and you can also download PWAs from their store, no. And also Google Play, no, Play Store. So of course, PWA is technology of Google. So this is from Google. So they also gave an option for developers to deploy their PWAs to the Play Store via Trusted Web Activities or TWA. And you can also download their PWAs. Huawei App Gallery, yan. If you're a Huawei mobile user, so App Gallery of Huawei also has progressive web apps on their app store. So you can see their download PWAs available there, and you can also deploy progressive web apps. So when it comes to Apple's App Store, wala pang option as of now, but hopefully magkaroon din sila ng option soon. Although PWAs works on iPhones kahit wala pang option sa App Store. So ito naman, so here are the important stuff or important thing that we should know about uh, progressive web apps. So PWA is a web app that runs on HTTPS or Secured Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So, and uses web manifests, uses service workers, and modern web APIs. Or APIs means API means application programming interface. So, the key components of a progressive web app are the app shell, the web manifest, and the service worker. So let's go first with the app shell. Okay, so here is a simple illustration of the core building blocks or core building bricks of PWAs and service workers, app shell, and web app manifests. And then push notifications and HTTPS. So first is the application shell. So the app shell is the minimal HTML, CSS, and JavaScript required to power the user interface or the UI. So when these things have been cached offline, so they can ensure an instant and reliably good performance to your users on their succeeding visits. So ito. So this illustration, you can see here that the app shell is not loaded from the network anymore on the user's succeeding visits. Only the dynamic and necessary content is fetched from the network once na nakash na yung HTML, CSS, and JavaScript na required to power the interface. So that is the reason why our progressive web app loads fast. So after the app shell is the manifest or the web manifest. So this is a simple JSON file or JavaScript object notation file that gives the developers the ability to control how the app will appear to the user. So it contains all the metadata, all the essential information about your app, about your progressive web app. So dito you can tell the browser how you want your app to open, whether that's a standalone window or in browser, and then you can also define what page will be opened, what page is open when the app is first launched, and how the app will look like when it's on the app launcher, and also the splash screen, the first screen that the user sees when they first open your app, and then tell the browser how to open it, whether in portrait or in landscape mode, and etc. So this is how a manifest JSON file looks like. So you have there the name of the app, the short name, language, start URL, scope, the web pages of your app, display, theme color, background color, and the icons. So we have app shell, manifest, and then service worker. So service worker is a type of a web worker actually. So there's a web worker, and then web workers have actually several types, and service worker is just one of them. So a service worker acts as a network proxy. So it handles and manipulates every network request to allow flexibility and efficiency. So it utilizes the cache API to allow for more efficient resource requests. So too long didn't read, not make it short. It is the primary and sole reason why our progressive web app is able to work offline. So there are actually a lot of different caching strategies that you can do with service workers. So there are a lot of them. So I will not discuss them one by one because it's too long. And so we have network or cache only, cache and update, cache update and refresh, embedded fallback, etc. And so for more details, if you want to check them out, you can visit https //serviceworker.rs. So this is how a service worker functions. So it mediates between the app and the network. And this is how a service worker JS file looks like. So we have there uh, the array that holds the files, the assets, the resources that you will cache, like the images, the JavaScript, CSS, and HTML files. And that, so those things will be cached so that our app will be able to work offline. And so we also have the install event, which is it fetches the assets that is defined that are defined in our asset list. And then the fetch event, this is the one that consumes the cache files. And then we also have the activate event. So it loops through all the cache that are the cache files that are defined in our assets list, and it deletes any files that are not defined in that cache. So ito naman, Workbox. Si Workbox is a tool that we can use to develop a progressive web app. So it's a JavaScript library. So meron siyang set of libraries, node modules that we can use and take advantage to build PWA. So yun, meron siyang best practices, and it makes the PWA development easier because it removes the hassle of developing your own, writing your own boilerplate code. And so meron siyang pre-caching runtime, background sync, request routing strategies, helpful debugging. And so if you want to know more about Workbox, just search for Workbox. And Workbox JS, Workbox JavaScript library. So ito, these are the these are just some of the front-end frameworks, libraries, and SDKs that supports progressive web apps. So you can, when you are already using some of these frameworks or SDKs, they have an option for you to easily convert your app to PWA. So we have Angular and Vue for a framework, React, which is a library, so Polymer, also a library, and then Ionic, a framework, and then Flutter, which is a software development kit. So right now, let's now check out some of the progressive web apps that are existing out there, the real world examples. So first is on the global or international landscape. So we have Twitter on mobile and on the web, and Instagram, Tinder, and also TikTok. And for TikTokers out there, Pinterest, YouTube Music on mobile, then Spotify on the web and mobile. Yan. Dev.to, Programmers Community and online. If you're developer, you're probably already familiar with this. And then it's also very interesting to know that PWAs have a rising adoption here in the Philippines. So it's for the same reasons actually. So all the good things about progressive web apps, plus our slow and expensive internet connectivity fees, also became an opportunity. So we have in the academy and e-learning, we have App Academia. So we are in no way promoting them, but because sila lang yung example na nakita namin in this sector. So online platform for you can learn at your own pace in your own time. So they have free and paid courses. Yan. And then sa industries meron din, like sa retail and e-commerce, we have ClickShop by 7-Eleven. So this was actually they were not in operation when the pandemic began. And then later on they changed it to Click Grocery. So I'm not sure if it's still in beta, but before, last time I checked, it was in beta, and it only works on mobile, although PWA siya. I'm not sure why. maybe they did something different, but it should work on web, on the desktop as well, not just mobile. And then we also have Lazada, yan, for online shopping, and Shopee. And sa sector of news and media, we have Rappler. And then in travel and transportation sector, we have the Travel PH. So it's a progressive web app launched by the Department of Tourism and the Tourism Promotions Board, Philippines. So it provides the latest travel advisories and safety guidelines in Philippine destinations reopened to tourists during the COVID-19 pandemic. So meron din sa food and beverage. So yan, Starbucks Rewards. So it's an app specifically for the Starbucks Rewards program here in the Philippines. So yan, pwede mo i-enroll dito yung card mo and SB card, and to access their perks and rewards. Then the COVID-19 pandemic has also opened opportunities for launching projects that have a social impact and aim for the good of humanity. So this is Rapid Pass, or rapidpass.ph. So it's a project aimed at streamlining the approval process of rapid passes. No? So medical frontliners can easily pass through checkpoints during the ECQ or enhanced community quarantine last year of March, no, 2020. So fintech or financial technology, we also have Metrobank. So this is their PWA. So pwede mo enroll dito yung account mo and then use their services with just a few taps. So this is actually better than their native mobile app counterpart. I'm not sure why, but it's based on my experience. It's more easy to use and navigate. And another one is DigiPay. So it's a digital payments and financial services platform which delivers their website as a progressive web app. Again, I would just like to introduce our community, the PWA Pilipinas community. So PWA Pilipinas is the community organization for progressive web app enthusiasts, website designers, and developers in the Philippines. So we seek to introduce and nurture progressive web apps development and adoption in the Philippines and beyond by fostering a community of core subject matter experts, enthusiasts, adopters, and developers of the platform, and by providing resources and engagements to stimulate interest in PWA technology. So and then we envision the adoption of the progressive web apps technology in the Philippines and even beyond to provide a better user experience. So just to share this group photo that was taken from our community's last on-site meetup. So it's entitled The State of PWA. So it was held around February of last year. So before the enhanced ECQ started on March. So hopefully we will get back to on-site events again, and I think it will be exciting and cool. So to know more and get updates from our community, you may follow us or like us on our social media accounts on Facebook and Twitter. It's PWA Pilipinas, or LinkedIn, linkedin.com/company/PWA-Pilipinas, and we also have Instagram, that's instagram.com/PWA Pilipinas. So if you have any partnership or sponsorship inquiries, you may also get in touch with us via email. And feel free also to visit and check our website, pwapilipinas.org, and if you're a community member of our Facebook group, you can also sign up to our community app. It's app.pwapilipinas.org, and you can actually download our community app on the Play Store if you're an Android. So yeah, these are the links to the references that I use in this presentation, and yeah, also the links to the frameworks and libraries that with PWA. So again, Thank you so much, Philippine Tech Community, Philippine Tech Week 2021, and have a pleasant evening to everyone.
Okay, hi everyone. Hi Lem.
Hi, hello, evening.
Oh my, wait. Nawawala yung aking screen. Wait. Okay. So, internet please bear with me. Okay. So, yun nga no, bagal ng internet, sana PWA yung mga ano. So, let's answer some Q&A before we oh my, where are we? Okay, good. So, let's look for some questions here. If you do have questions, leave them at the comment section. Okay, so first question is from Will Save. So, serious question, can mobile or web-based games see life as a PWA? Ikaw, Lem.
Yeah. Actually, merong mga PWA na ano no, na games. So, if you're going to check out online, meron din naman. Although depende siguro sa klase ng game. Siguro kung web-based lang, may limitation. So, if yung games like mga console ganyan or mobile talaga as a mobile app. So like ML ganyan. So hindi siya possible na maging PWA.
Yeah.
So
And
may
to
ano
add,
lang
no,
siguro.
no,
Mm.
if di na babalitaan, if you know Stadia, Google Stadia, di
Mm.
ba? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
It's
yeah, it's a pure web-based solution, di ba, to stream games
for
from
Steam
cloud.
games. Yung,
Yeah.
mm.
So and actually it's the thing that yung mga cloud game providers are using to actually go to iOS. So, diba, they don't have to go through the App Store. Actually, there's some issues about the App Store right now, diba? So, if they're having some problems with that, what they're doing is actually, parang, this is the solution na ginagawa ng NVIDIA for their, diba, for their gaming service. Tsaka yung sa Amazon, yung Amazon
Mm.
Luna, is also
Yeah.
bidding yung PWA to go dun sa iOS. So actually, this is a really flexible solution to actually be everywhere without the restriction of app stores and ano. Pero if you wanted to go to be on Play Store, diba? You can still do it. There are tools like Bubble Wrap, a PWA builder. If gusto mong dalhin yung PWA mo to Play Store or kung ano mang app distribution, you can even bring it over to Microsoft Store if you'd like to. So let's try looking
Yeah.
for another question. Since medyo may time pa tayo. Okay.
6 minutes.
Yes. Ito from Sir Bob. Bob Risk. For non-developers or programmers, what is the best or fastest route to learn creating progressive web apps? Kaulen.
Fastest route to learn creating PWAs. I think it's just start building a website, but like a static website. No, like the using the plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then from there, I think pwede ka nang mag-start no to build PWAs, no, unless you're already professional, so you learn some frameworks. Pwede mo rin siyang gamitin, no. May options na to convert siya to PWA. So yeah, I think
Okay.
sa akin.
So next question. Ito no, medyo ano siya.
Hello, Andre. Hello, ako ba yung nawala or si Andre? Okay, I think we're having some technical problems, so we do apologize. Let's wait for a few seconds. And so if you have questions, please just comment on YouTube or yeah, please comment them on YouTube and we will read it out and answer them in this session. Ayan, Andre's back.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh,
gosh,
can I
can I
like
like
add
add
myself?
myself?
Oh,
Okay, because
dalawa.
internet is so slow. Yeah. So, sorry for that. So, in terms of dun sa iOS, no,
Ah,
there's actually a court case, diba? Yung Epic versus Apple.
oh.
And, and actually, Apple has been using PWAs as an argument
Mm,
na there's actually a
uh, Andre, hello.
Okay, nawawala ako, wala isa. Sorry. So,
Okay.
yun yung ginagamit nilang argument to win their case. So, I think it's going to be a good thing for PWAs kasi we're going to adopt it very soon. So, yun. Let's have the last question na Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Medyo hard lang to look for a question, but yeah. Oh my, wait. Anyway, Lem, no? Siguro, from a career question na lang muna, to be,
Okay. Mm,
any tips sa mga gusto pumasok into tech, na hindi naman tech yung background? Sorry, medyo off topic, but yeah, it's nice to have
mm.
that answer now. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, with regards to that, to that question, ako wala din naman akong tech background actually. So I graduated with a degree in marketing. So then nakapasok ako sa tech through coding bootcamp. So I trained for 6 months while working full time actually. So pinagsabay ko siya. And then once na ready na yung skills ko, yung knowledge ko, so doon na ako pumasok sa tech and I'm working now as I'm working as developer since 2019. Ayun. So ayun. And so far puro mga startups. Yeah. And yun nga so there's actually you really have to make a decision. So you have to think a lot of like are you really going to go for this path, no, for na ready ka ba sa ganitong trabaho ganyan, physically, emotionally, mentally. So ayun, just ask yourself pang ilang beses po ulit na kasi to parang this will be your what you will do in your entire career, no.
Yeah.
And ayun, yes, yun, may risk talaga siya, pero if you really want to explore this is this career, so ayun, explore yan talaga. And yeah, you just have to start.
Okay, so I guess it's almost time. Thank you, Lem, for sharing your info about, your learnings about PWA. Salamat tayo sa time. And yeah, if you do have questions, we'll be on Discord to answer all of your PWA question. And also
Oh,
follow us
nice.
on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Ay, nawala yung screen. Okay.
Yan.
So, for feedback, we're giving away 300 pesos Grab food vouchers to 10 people that will answer the feedback. We'll choose that
Oh,
randomly.
wow.
So, yeah, exactly. Just
Wow.
visit bit.ly/techweekpwa. So, we will announce them tonight via PWA Filipino social media accounts and TechWeek social media accounts and on Discord. Okay, so I guess we're done. Once again, thank you, Lem. I'm going to call June on stage.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I am adding June. Okay.
Ayan. So, thank you so much, Lem and Andre, for that topic, which is a very good topic, especially on my end, because I have a phone na walang Google services, and progressive web apps talaga yung bumubuhay sa phone ko as of now. And um, before we introduce to you our second speaker for tonight, let us have our
Hello. Yeah. Oh, our host. Um, sorry for taking over. So I guess we can introduce our next speaker now. So do we have our slides? Okay. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Make sure to join our promos tonight. We do have a lot of prizes in store for you. So make sure to join our photo contest. Just post a picture at using the hashtag PHTechWeek 2021, and we're going to announce the winners tonight. And also our decoded promo. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Well, our host is here again. Hi,
ayan.
June.
Ayan, so I just had a technical problem. So let me
It's
share
okay.
my screen again. So thank you, Andre, for taking over while I am having a technical problem. So, uh, wait. Okay, let's share the screen again. Okay, so um, we would like to remind everyone lang na meron pa po tayong raffle for today. So photos of the day, just publish posts about your experience or thoughts about Philippine Tech Week with hashtag PH Tech Week 2021, and you will have the chance to win 1,000 Lazada voucher. And we also have the decoded raffle, which you will have the chance to win 300 pesos Grab food voucher. So just parang hintayin nyo lang yung mga makikita nyong code sa baba and submit it to bit.ly/decoded raffle. And lastly, we will have Accenture Career Survey. So just go to talkpoo.sh/4MA7MK. And yes, without further ado, I think we can now have our second speaker for tonight. So let me introduce to you Mr. CG Villafranca. So he is a technical lead for Frontier Software Asia Philippines and currently involved in the community leaders of Angular Philippines. And with the topic of entering the freelancing world, what you need to survive in the freelancing path. So take it away, Mr. Seiji Villafranca.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So once again, thank you, June, for the wonderful introduction. So yeah, once again, I'm CJ Villafranca, and I will be discussing another topic. So So medyo break muna tayo about sa tech stuffs. And now, I will discussing how to survive in our technology world. So, medyo break muna tayo in about sa mga tech natin. But, and another part is, magdi-discuss ako kung ano ba yung mga tips and tricks and ano yung mga experiences ko in terms of surviving freelancing world, or specifically sa technology in freelancing. So my main topic here is entering the freelancing world, what you need to survive in the freelancing path. So to introduce myself again, I'm CG Villafranca. If you want to follow all of my codes, my tutorials, and my content, so I'm also a writer and a dev trainer. So you can see all my codes in github.com/cgv13. And I also have my personal website, which I place my all of my contents and writings in terms of tech stuffs and other coding stuffs, even DevOps. So it's cgvillafranca.com. So what are my current roles in technology world? So I'm currently the technical lead for Frontier Software Asia Philippines, and I'm also a freelancer trainer and a tech lead in Rock Squad. Then in outside my job, I'm an Auth0 ambassador, which I promote securities of Auth0, not just Auth0 but identity server, and as well as I'm part of the Angular PH as being the community lead by teaching other students and even professionals. So here are just some of my talks and my other experiences. So I've been into several conferences and talks already. So in my home community, Angular PH. So if you are a big fan of Angular PH, so madalas ako nagto-talk doon. So hindi ko sure, pero siguro mga 20 talks na ako in Angular PH where I share all the stuffs and the new things we can learn in Angular. So I've been also the DevCon, React.js Pilipinas, Rock Squad, design and development where I am a freelancer, Skylabs, where also I am a mentor, NG Up Conference, which is one of the biggest Angular conference worldwide, SoftCon, JavaScript and Friends, PWA Pilipinas, and many more. So these are just my experiences in talks, where I also have created connections that also open me to freelancing world. So now let's proceed. Before I start, what are the tips and tricks of how to be a freelancer? Is I will just discuss first what is a freelancer. So this is a word that we are really hearing or hearing in different people, or we might hear other peoples that are now doing freelancing instead of doing a full-time job. So what does freelancer really means? So it really refers to the people who work independently. So it's commonly known as self-employed people. So they are the one responsible for getting their own clients, and they are the one managing their own self in terms of their work. So freelancers. Let's just time travel about 1800s. So I really researched for this one. So we might ask ourselves, yes, some of us are really freelancers, pero bakit nga ba tayo tinawag na freelancers? So tanong ko rin yan nung una nung naging freelancer ako. So why is it like that? So they are hired by other companies on a part-time or short-term basis. So freelancers are not just the people who work for themselves, but they can also be hired by other companies. But in this case, they're hiring these people, these freelancers, as part-time or contractual. So they're not full-time people or full-time employed people. So, well, for me, you can treat yourself as a single company, because as I have said a while ago, you are treating yourself or you are managing yourself based on your responsibility and based on your work. So, and lastly, it's we decide all the things we need to prioritize. So in freelancing part, the major responsibility of a freelancer is they are the one responsible for managing and at the same time organizing their work that they need to achieve or to maintain for their client. So, yun nga, sinasabi ko na you are the employee of yourself or you are the one managing. I can say that freelancer is the CEO of yourself, basically because you are managing your own work. So other terms that they call even in the US or in other parts of the country. They call it contractual. Even though here in the Philippines, they call freelancers as contractual employment. Others, independent employment. 1099, this is usually based in the US for the so-called 1099 for the tax. Then it's also basically known as part-time. So just a recall about why is it called freelancer. So why do we call ourselves freelancer? So let's just talk a little bit about history. Why is it freelancer? So we are time traveling to 1800s. So freelance, it refers basically to medieval mercenary. So if you're a fan of anime like Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, there's a called class freelancer. So the lancer rather, so the lancer is a spear. So it came from the history of 1800s where a mercenary is traveling to offer different kingdoms to fight for them. Who fights for the kingdom? Who will pay the biggest money for his service? So that's the history of freelancer term. So it's just so another basic reference from the history. It's from Ivanhoe, Sir Ivan Scott. So he mentioned the service of freelances. So and as time passed by, we have coined the term freelancing and use it in our daily basis in terms of describing your job or your status. So the first main question here in my topic is why is freelancer trending today? So yes, we have graduated in our course. For example, I'm a computer science student, so I might ask myself, is it really good or is it really beneficial of being a freelancer compared in having a full time job? So let's discuss some statistics that is made by other companies. What is freelancer status for now, especially in the terms of in the midst of pandemic? So first, let's discuss in USA. Union and Freelancers Union and Upwork, which is one of the top freelancing hiring companies. So they have released a study revealing that 54 million are now freelancing in America. FYI, this stats is around 2016 or 2017. So right now, it's now 2021 after 4 years. So maybe this 54 million have increased rapidly. So now the study finds more people are freelancing by choice. So we can see that it's above half. It's already 60%, uh, where people are choosing to freelance instead of having full time. So in this graphical image, so we can see that now 57 million Americans are freelance this year. So this is now in 2019, and freelancing income is nearly $1 trillion. So all of the income, the $1 million is a really big income that is coming from the freelancing world. Then right now, younger generations are more likely to freelance. That's a really big question why younger generations would choose freelance over full time. So we will answer that later. Why more and more generations are choosing freelance over full time. So freelancing opens up opportunities, and why does it open more opportunities? Because this opens up for us more time and more flexibility, and we are have the freedom to choose what is our goals and what are the things we need to learn or what are the things that we want to learn. So freelancing gives flexibility. Yes, because freelancing is not full time, so you have your own uh, you you manage your own time rather, and at the same time, um, you are holding all of your decisions when it comes to achieving your work. Then tech is enabling freelancing. So as tech emerges in our world, so freelancing becomes widely spread. So especially now in the midst of a pandemic, it's really it's really obvious for us that freelancing now is totally emerging. At the same time, we have some this technology that will allow us to access other companies or other hiring companies easier. Then soft skills matter. So actually, getting a freelancing job nowadays is quite easier because all of the access and all of the resources or materials in the internet is now available. Then education needs also to adapt, and top professionals nowadays are freelancers. So we can see here in USA that majority of the people are now shifting to freelancing. So I will also discuss the findings or the key findings of the study from Upwork. So in the statistics that Upwork has have released, so 1 in 3 Americans now are freelancing. Then the majority or 60% of the freelancers are now earning more compared to their full-time jobs. Then freelancing is seen as a positive step not only for professionals but for the economy. Why? As I have shown you in our graphical representation a while ago, the $1 million trillion income is coming from the freelancing world. So now technology is emerging. So us, the tech peeps here who are watching, so we are really aware how technology emerges and how technology rapidly grows. So this, as technology rapidly grows, it also helps us in our daily lives, especially in finding jobs, especially in freelancing. So it's not just finding jobs, um, not just in finding jobs, but also in terms of communication to our clients, especially the deliverables. So let's just give you a quote from Stephen Cashriel, former CEO of Upwork. So people are increasingly building flexible careers on their own terms, based on their passions, desired lifestyle, and access to a much broader pool of opportunities than ever before in history. So in the sentence of Stephen, he's saying that people are choosing freelancing more in in compared to full time for their work because of, first, it's the flexibility itself, and second, it's the time. So they can manage, or they have their own responsibility to manage their own time. At the same time, they can do more and learn other things because they have freedom to organize and classify or prioritize what the things are they needed to do. So, if you're asking what is the basis or what's the average salary for a freelance programmer, so basically here we are almost watching people here. We are involved in the tech world. So I will show you some of the salaries from ZipRecruiter of how much a freelancer programmer earns. So this is just for an average. So we cannot expect that if we enter the freelance world is we will earn this much, and this is based on the U.S. country. So the national average is around $34 an hour. So if you will convert that in Philippine pesos, so that's almost around 1,500 pesos per hour. So this is just a basis from US. So if you will compute that for a week, so the national average is $1,359 per week, and per month it's $5,892. So you might ask me, CJ, ang laki naman yan. So this is just an average for US employees, and this is based on ZipRecruiter on how freelance programmers are earning, and this does not depend on specific languages, but specifically the overall average. So we're talking about the US. Now let's talk about our country. So this is the most important part that we need to know. So in Philippines, we can see in our graph that 35% for gig economies have already increased. So meaning 35% of the Philippine population has trans, has shifted to the freelancing world from the full-time job of they have. So we can see that the freelancing percentage of Filipinos is not that big compared to US, so it's just 2%, and this is based on the Global Freelancer Insights from PayPal. So this is 2018, so for 3 years from now, I am sure that this is widely affected, especially that we have our global pandemic. So more people are having freelancing jobs, not just in technology world, but in other freelancing opportunities out there. So we can say that Filipino freelancers are now growing. So why? First, I think the first factor here is the freedom. Second is passion. Third is the work from home, and fourth is exploration. So me myself, actually, I'm also a freelancer. So these four factors that I presented to you is one of this is the four factors that made me acquire a freelancing job because first, I have the freedom I have the freedom to learn what I want, and at the same time, I have the freedom to manage all the work and the responsibility of what will I prioritize. Passion, because we have the choice to choose what we want to learn at the same time what we want to do as a freelance employee. Then sure, we also want this stuff, the work from home setup, because it's from the expenses. Second, it's really a time saving. So and we don't need to travel at the same time commute. As you all know, commuting here in Philippines is very hard. So mostly freelancing jobs now are offering work from home setup. Then the fourth one is exploration. This is connected to passion. So we have more chance or we have more freedom to explore what are the things we need or we want to learn. So another factor I'm thinking of is receiving salary is not a problem anymore. So why? Because of the technology. The technology is now emerging and at the same time communication with clients is also emerging. So there are some digital platforms that allow us to receive our salary online, like PayPal's platforms that provide different services. So us employees can now work online. So if you might want to join the freelancing world, so these are just the top freelancing jobs. So this is from Grid PH. If I remember, this is listed from 2020. So these are the top jobs. So it's project manager, digital marketing manager, strategist, so a web content manager, and a client service specialist and business analyst. So we can see in the top list that I have highlighted that can be related to our technology world is the project manager, software engineer, and the system engineer. Actually, for the content and digital marketing, we can also connect this one. But the more connected one is for being a developer or a programmer. So if you want to join some freelancing jobs, so these are the top positions that you might want to consider. So pay scale. Kanina, I've mentioned the pay scale from the US countries. Now, ito yung parang pinakainihintay natin. This is one of the things na gusto natin malaman even sa pag-a-apply ng jobs. So, ano ba ang kinikita ng isang freelancer job? So, this is just from pay scale, human capital. I'm not assuring you that if you enter a freelancing job, ito na talaga yung makukuha nyo. So for a software engineer, it's 306 pesos per hour. So if you will ask me anong specific language, not necessarily because this is general, then the web developer, it's 203 pesos per hour. So that's the average that pay scale have projected in their website. This is based on 2021 already. So this is the latest average salary that a freelancer can get or a developer freelancer. So specific languages, Java, it's 97 pesos per hour. Android software developer, 173 pesos per hour. And a PHP developer is 126 pesos per hour. So these are just the top languages that are being used for freelancing. Pero if you check their website, PayScale, there are other specific languages and other frameworks like Angular, React, Android, Flutter. So they have also their average from PayScale. So from Luben Ricera, he said that online freelancing, therefore, is having the freedom to choose your own line of job. The time of the day, the week, in the week you will work, the amount of pay you will get, and having the convenience of staying at home. So yeah, as I have said a while ago, you have the freedom, you have the time, you have everything. You're the CEO of yourself, and you have the responsibility to manage yourself. It looks fun, right? It looks fun compared to our full time, but it also has a great risk. So freelancing is not just that easy. We have we might have the freedom, but also we also have the responsibility to have a stable income. So my second main question here is how to be a successful freelance developer. Yes, we found the job. We found a freelance developer. We have the skills. We have some niche or for being a developer. We have those languages. So the question here is, what are the things we need to prepare? So we don't enter the freelance world with a guaranteed success. So that is quoted by me. Why? Because entering the freelance world is also a great risk. It is like an investment that you will invest yourself in getting clients at the same time learning new things that can help you to have a stable job or a stable income. So hindi pag sinabi ko na mag-enter ka sa freelance is guaranteed success ka na. Makukuha mo na kagad yung mga nasa pay scale na magkakaroon ka ng 300 pesos per hour. Yeah, but sa una, you might get that, but we can say that it cannot be stable or soon. It's just a contractual, so pwedeng matapos yung project natin. So, as I have said, freelancing is a great risk. It is somehow building your own company. If you remember what I am saying a while ago, CEO of yourself because you are managing yourself. So that's my greatest phrase for myself. So I can push myself to be responsible of the works that I need to accomplish as a freelancer. So yeah, you are a one-man team. So you are all responsible for yourself. Uh, all of your need things that you need to accomplish, all of your responsibilities for the clients, and at the same time, all of the tasks you need to manage. So job stability. Actually, freelancing can be stressful. Why? Because on the first part of your freelancing journey, so you might have a stable income because of the client, but once you finish your project or in some time the your project has already been accomplished or no clients are 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 finding your services. So the main question here is how to have a job stability when it comes to freelancing. Then third, clients. So we might admit this one, clients can be stressful. So you're a freelancer, so this means that you're the one who will talk to your clients. So clients are the one who needs things to be accomplished, and this we can admit that the requirements can be changing from time to time. So you need to be a manager if you are a freelancer. So my first question a while ago is how to be a successful freelancer. So I think the right question here is what to prepare to be a successful freelance developer. So we might consider some things or steps that we can incorporate before entering the freelance world. So the first tip that I could give you is focus and upgrade your skills. Actually, in my journey, marami na akong na-experience na mostly developers, they want to be jack of all trades. Sabihin nila na, I want to learn this, learn that, learn this, learn everywhere. So it's okay to learn everything, but it can also be as a source of your stress, and at the same time, baka makalimutan mo din. You can learn other stuffs, other fields like in our technology, lalo na sa atin, we have many branches like DevOps, programming, networking. You can learn some parts of that one, but my recommendation for this one is be expert in a specific area. So do not pressure yourself in learning everything because in one area you are expert in, this will allow you to learn other things easier. So ito yung pinaka parang base or pinaka parang core expertise mo. And other things will follow for that one. So in learning programming, everything will follow. Once you have the logic, it will be easier for you to learn other things. So in focusing on upgrading your skills, actually it's easier nowadays because of our technology, and at the same time, other developers are developing for other developers platforms that we can learn. So these are the courses that are now present in the internet. So I think these are just some of the websites that I can recommend for you developers or for the developers out there who is just starting. So it's Coursera, Khan Academy. By the way, in Coursera, it's paid, but you can apply for a scholarship for a specific course. So it will take around 2 weeks for you to be approved. It's just based on your how you answer the questions. So it's after that it's free. So you can have that course, and all of the courses there in Coursera is I really recommend the course because some is really updated. Then Khan Academy, Code Wars, if you want to practice your programming skills and to challenge yourself. So it's like Codility. So there are exercises that are present in Code Wars. Then MIT, Open Courseware. So even other prestigious universities from US, so they're offering free coursewares for developers and other topics or other courses that are present. Then even Mozilla, so the MDM Web Docs. So this is also useful for web development. So these are just some of the useful courses that are now present on the internet. Then, so what can you focus on? So, alam natin or we know that there are very wide range of topics, wide range of technologies that we can use. So, ang dilemma natin dito is tinatanong lagi natin, ano ba yung gagamitin ko? Ano ba yung para dito? Ano ba yung gusto kong gamitin na technology pa? Ano yung sisimulan ko sa development? So, it's okay to ask that. It's normal even for the yung mga senior developers like me, nag-start din ako dyan, ano ba yung dapat kong matutunan. But, yun nga, as I have said a while ago, don't pressure yourself. But, if I would recommend, if I would recommend you to learn something, you might want to join the trend, or at the same time, what's your passion in your job, or what's your passion in doing. So sa trends ngayon, if you can see in freelancing jobs, not just in freelancing jobs but in also full-time jobs, makikita niyo sa mga trending na technologies na ginagamit nila is for front-end, usually is JavaScript frameworks. So some of the JavaScript frameworks that are trending now is Angular, React, Next.js. For React, it's the SSR, the server-side rendering, Vue.js, then progressive web apps, so as discussed a while ago, and Node.js, Ionic, so it's a hybrid framework. Then also for data science, Python, and for backend and .NET. So these are just some of the trending technologies that are being hired by freelancers and in full time. So I forgot to include Flutter. So they're also trending now in freelancing jobs. And PHP frameworks. PHP frameworks is old, but you might believe me, but Laravel and CodeIgniter I'm still seeing some of freelancing jobs that are hiring because Laravel and CodeIgniter, this is still widely used from in some of the applications that are present in our world. So next, build and collab. So this number two, this is one of the steps that really made me a successful freelancer. This is just like your portfolio or this is just like your showcase. So ano ba yung tinutukoy dito? Ano yung tinutukoy ko dito na build and collab? So first is build your profile or portfolio that you can showcase. So lalo na tayong developers, maraming ways kung paano tayo mag-build ng profile or portfolio. So bakit ba natin kailangan mag-build ng portfolio when you want to enter the freelancing world? Because una-una, tayo yung kumukuha ng clients natin. We are the one responsible. We are also the one responsible for that. So it's like window shopping. Clients have the right to bid, at the same time have the right to select which freelancers are gonna do the work for them. So para makakuha tayo ng madaming clients or magandang clients, so we should build our portfolio or our profile. So what are the ways to build our portfolio or profile? So create your own website. So yan, napakita ko kanina, I have my own website, cgvillafranca.com. In my experience, marami nang nakakita ng website ko in terms of clients. Then nakalagay din yung mga projects ko, but be sure that your project is not it's NDA, so it's not under NDA. So yung para wala tayong legal issues. But I'm placing other my personal projects and at the same time some of my apps, progressive web apps, web app. It's all placed here in my website. So if a client wants to request what's our my project, so they just have to visit my site. So having your own website is it's really a niche or really a weapon for you to get a client. Next, write blogs and contents to showcase your skills. So actually, this is just my recommendation. But if you're not into blog and contents, you can have other steps to or other ways to share your knowledge. So in this part, I've created my own blog and contents where I write tutorials, not in JavaScript, Angular, React, Nest, Node, and other stuffs that I know. So why is this an effective step in creating or in getting your client? Because they will have the idea to know what are the skills that you have. So and it's also like it is also like a proof that you know this stuff and you can help them or you can create the apps that they need. So this is really an effective part for having a freelance job. Then build this is one of my favorite part, and this step has really helped me got my job in other country. So you should be involved in open source repositories. So you should have more contributions. So in GitHub or GitLab, but for me, I'm using GitHub rather. I'm using this also as a portfolio where I send to clients that I am also contributing to open source repository. So GitLab is one of the vital na parts of being a developer. Ito kasi yung parang proof natin na developer talaga tayo and we are involved in several projects. So if I were you, if you're planning to have a freelance job, if wala pa kayong GitHub, so might as well create one. Number 3 is grow your connections. So actually ito yung isa din sa mga vital part for having a freelance job because having more connections is the start of everything. More connections can lead to clients. So as you have more connections, basically magkakaroon ka ng mas maraming kakilala and some connections they are not they're also clients and they have no idea how to create apps or they're not involved in the tech stuff. So you have the chance to offer to them that you can create their dream apps. So there are really many ways now how can you grow your connections in terms of using the technology. So in this case, we are really utilizing what is now present in our internet and our technology. So first is we should utilize the presence of social media. So in Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So, but in utilizing social media, so we should also be careful for this one because so this is for data privacy at the same time for scamming, scamming related activities. So we should be careful in terms of communicating with other people. Then also in be involved in meetups and hackathons. So actually this is also my experience. Batang hackathon ako. Marami na rin ako nagkaroon ng connections in terms of meetups and hackathons. And if you want to be informed in other meetups and hackathons, so there are some meetups they're placing their events in meetup.com and or in hackathons they're also placing their events in Eventbrite. So I'm really highly recommending that this one that you should be involved in meetups and hackathons. In meetups, you will learn from different people, especially from different professionals. So batang meetup and batang hackathon ako. So sa meetup, I cannot count how many meetups I've attended and how many meetups I've been a speaker. So dito, I'm not just teaching people as a speaker, but attending a meetup, I'm also learning from them, from not just in technology stuffs or their strategies on how they code like this app, this one stuff, but um, they're also teaching the real the other strategies like in business models. So in meetups, it's not just for technology people, but other people that can teach you new stuffs. So in hackathons, so hackathon is a great experience because it will teach you uh, it will teach you uh, different stuffs like business models and how to be how to get clients at the same time. If you're how to think fast in terms of creating your own ideas. So next. So be active in programming discussions. So Stack Overflow, yeah, we are programmers. We all know this. Stack Overflow is one of the most uh, helpful things in our lives. So if we don't have Stack Overflow, I don't know what will happen to us developers because this is our savior in our coding lives. So in Stack Overflow, if you're being active in answering questions, um, I assure you that you can also have connections in this one, especially in Discord. So in programming, especially in frameworks or other developers, open source developers, they are placing their community in Discord. So you can have a discussion there and be involved in other developers having you a new connections. Okay. Now you have grown your connections in terms of other clients, but you can also sign up on freelancing platforms like Fiverr, TopTal, Upwork, Freelancer, AngelList. By the way, just to share my experience, yung nakuha kong work dati for freelance in California. So I've been hired in AngelList. AngelList is actually not it's a platform for startup company actually. Pero may mga ibang companies kasi din dito na nag-hire for contractual or for part-time. So it's also known as freelancing. So yung dating company ko for freelancing, it's they hired me from AngelList and actually I learned a lot from them and I really have many experience from them because they're using different or wide range of technologies. So the mga trending technologies is um, na-utilize dun sa company na yun. So, in signing up a freelancing platform, this is really a good step for having a having a client for being a freelancer. But meron tong prerequisite. So, in terms of signing up a freelancing platform, isa sa mga prereq nito is yung build and collab. Why? You should build first your portfolio or your profile to showcase other clients. Like in freelancer, clients are bidding here who will get their job done. So, dapat meron kang showcase para dun sa client para ikaw yung mapili for the bid. So, build and collab is really a vital part or a step for being a top or a successful freelancer. So, next. Number 4 step is being organized is the key. So, what do I mean by this? Sabi ko nga kanina, you're the one responsible managing yourself or you're the one responsible organizing all the works that you need to accomplish or you need to prioritize. So, dito, freelancers means you're handling everything. You have the freedom of time, but you have the responsibility to manage it. Yes, freelancer may be heaven in your ears because you have the time, you have the freedom, you don't have 8 hours of working, but this is a big responsibility for you to manage all of your work. Hindi sinasabi na free ka, you have all the time to create your work, but it's also responsible to finish or to accomplish all the priorities that you need for the client. So, how to make yourself organized? For the normal or in sa lumang way natin, so we have our planners or we have our notes, even in PCs, so whatever tools. But if you want to be more sophisticated or you want to be more organized in that way, so there are also available tools for managing your project. So number 1 is Trello. So Trello is they have provided different kinds of boards. So even in Agile, so the Scrums. So this is a good tool that I could recommend for you to manage your freelancing tasks. So Trello, then Asana. So Asana is also free. So it's also a management platform that you can use for organizing your tasks and workload and right. So there are other, these are just the top 3 that I could recommend for you in terms of freelancing, but I'm sure that there are other freelancing or there are other tools, organizing tools that you can use. Then, number 5, so expose yourself in the industry. This is just one of my recommendation, but actually involving yourself first in the industry itself or in the full-time work, it's really a good start for us before entering the freelance. So why am I recommending this? Because first, the industry or the full-time work will allow you to involve or to be connected to professional developers or professional employees. So the employees in the outside world or in the full time, they are now experienced and you can really learn a lot from them. And this is really a good start or a good preparation before entering your freelance world. So we can as we join the industry. So as I have said a while ago, so one way of learning how experts are creating things. So joining the industry or the full-time work is a good or a great preparation for us before involving ourselves in freelancing. Okay, so I have given you tips and tricks on how to survive the freelancing world. So let me now discuss my journey. So papakita ko yung mga naranasan ko and ano ba yung mga napagdaanan ko bago ako nagkaroon ng freelance in California. So you might think na it's really easy to have a good freelancing or a great freelancing job, but my journey is just really mind blown. So marami akong pinagdaanan. And the steps that I have given you, the 5 steps I have given you to be a successful freelancer, it really helped me to have a great job or a great freelancing job. So the journey here is first, I've applied a job. So this is my 5th step. So the 5th step is first to expose yourself in this industry. So actually, I've gained some experience in development. Marami akong natutunan, different frameworks, different languages, but to be exact, my main expertise is Angular and React. and REST API on Node.js. So yun talaga yung expertise ko. So I've learned many things, Angular, React, Java, REST API, GraphQL, Node. I'm also doing Nest.js and .NET. So marami ako natutunan, but yeah, one of my tips is focus on something. Focus on one or two expertise that you really want to learn. Then, after I've gained some experience from other experts, so my next step is colleagues and connections. So how did I gain colleagues and connections for that one? So I created websites and apps for their needs. So nag-freelance ako, and my clients are my friends, my connections, even my colleagues. So some other people that I know. So may mga apps sila na simple lang, kahit mga static apps, mga website application. So I created for them. So even though there's not much of a pay for that one, at least you have to add something on your portfolio or you can showcase on your next big client. So I've created some in my starting time as a freelance. So I've created portfolio websites, nakagawa din ako ng company websites, CMS, and other simple apps. Next, I've created my own website. So this is now the result of cgvillafranca.com. So I've created my portfolio. I've compiled all of my portfolio for my works. So I can showcase it to my other clients. So it's now cgvillafranca.com. And actually, in creating your website, this is also one way for being you, for practicing, for being organized, because this is one way of compiling all your works at the same time. How will you present your work or your app or your collection of web apps to other clients? Then, I've also joined meetups and hackathons. Yun, batang hackathon nga ako and meetup. Sabi nga, palipat-lipat ako ng meetup and hackathon. And ito yung isa sa mga open doors, nag-open talaga ng doors sa akin para makakilala ng iba't ibang tao. So, I've actually grown my connections at the same time, developed prototypes. So, yung prototypes na ginagawa for meetups and hackathons, it's also an experience in creating web application. So, mahasa yung sarili natin in not just pitching ideas, but also coding some prototypes or applications that can practice our development skills. So, yan, isa to sa mga recommendation ko na talagang be involved in our community, especially in meetups and conferences. Then, programming tutorials for professionals. So I've shown you a while ago that I'm also creating a blog content, written tutorials that I can showcase to our clients. But actually, my first goal for here, that's why I'm creating contents, is for the students and other professionals that needs my help. So it's under cgvillafranca.com/blogs. Then the next one is contributed on open source in GitHub. So nag-contribute ako sa maraming open source. So if you want to ask what open source is that, so I've been contributing to several Angular applications or Angular libraries now. So yung mga color pickers, mga loggers. So I've been contributing several times there. So na-involve ako sa mga iba't ibang strategies or standards of coding na nagagamit ko ngayon, not in just my full-time but also in my freelancing. So it really helped me a lot. And hindi lang siya sa learning. At the same time, na-showcase ko rin na naging involved ako. So naging multi-purpose yung pag-contribute ko sa GitHub kasi napakita ko sa client na I'm also involved in several projects, and these are the open source projects that are being used by other big projects. FYI, yung company ko from California, they've required me to let me show my GitHub. So, buti na lang, naging active ako sa open source. At the same time, may mga projects din ako sa GitHub. So doon na nakita na you are really active at the same time. You are really coding and developing with this with this specific stack. So yeah, I've contributed to several frameworks and projects. So specifically in NPM libraries. So speaker in several events. So actually in this one, it's not this is a good this is also a great opportunity. At the same time, it also opened several doors for me because I've created I have gained a lot of connections in speaking in several events, but um, alam naman natin na hindi lahat na is really into speaking. But and if you are really interested in speaking in several events, then I really recommend this, that you should not be afraid to share your ideas or knowledge in conferences. So, ito yung isa din sa mga huge step sa akin in terms of having a freelance job because in speaking in several events, you are also catering or you are also showcasing what you know in other stuff. So you're not just helping other people, but you are also showcasing your talents and skills. So other these are the some of the meetups that I've been to. So yeah, Angular PH, my home community, SoftCon, DevCon, NGUp, and PWA Pilipinas. So next is accepted as a community lead and ambassador programs. So actually, it's not really required for you to be a community lead, but I am also recommending you to be active on uh, tech communities because in this case, um, you might you will really learn from different professionals, especially on that specific technology. So I am recommending you to be active. So in my experience as a community lead, I've been a mentor also and a trainer for different members in our community. So I am not just I am not just teaching them, but I'm also learning from them because they are also professionals. Ambassador program. So I'm on Auth0. So I'm learning from different professionals from different countries. So Auth0 ambassador is based from US, but the ambassadors are found in different parts of the country like India, Australia, and US itself and Canada. So you will really learn a lot from other ambassadors in technology. So yeah, this step has opened new connections for me. So last journey is I've signed up on a platform. So I've I've mentioned earlier that AngelList is the platform I use. So this AngelList, I've got a job and landed a job, and it's from California. So it's a startup company. They've really teach me a lot on how to code React, how to how to develop using GraphQL. So I really learned from them. So at the same time, freelance this is a freelance position. So the clients here is the one I've been talking to. Then at the same time, this is a job that I've earned compared to my full time. I've earned 5 times in a month. So this is not to brag, but this is just to give an inspiration for all of us developers that you can also attain and reach just like my journey. So after landing a job, I have now a client. So I have a big client that that I am working with. So I have reached my destination in being a successful freelance developer. But it really doesn't stop there. So yes, you have a client, you're earning 5 times a month compared to your full time, but we will always remember that your projects is just contractual, and we should not we can be confident, but we should not be overconfident. So you have an awesome profile. So you just continue to build and build your profile, even though you have your clients, because this is one way to get more clients for you, to have to continue your streak or your or your job or freelancing job, then more clients will come in and you will now have a stable income and a job stability. So my tip here is never stop learning at the same time. Be responsible of your time and have just the right amount of confidence. So just another friendly neighborhood tips. So puro tips ako ang bibigay ko sa inyo in entering a freelancing world. So bravery and confidence is the key. So be brave. Some people are not really into communication when it comes to clients. My suggestion or tips here is if you are planning to enter the freelancing world, be prepared. Expect nyo na marami kayong makakausap na clients at the same time, other other clients na medyo maraming needs or wants. So you will be really involved in terms of managing or in planning. And confidence. Syempre, if you are facing a client, you should be confident. But as I have said a while ago, just have the right amount of confidence and not to be overconfident that everything is easy because this can cause your downfall in your freelancing job. So treat yourself as a company. So if you don't manage yourself right, your company will go down. Then learn, and learn. So never stop learning. At the same time, feeling you have your own time freelancing. As I have said, you have the freedom. So don't stop learning new things. So another last tip for you, for everyone here, a blueprint that will guide you to your journey. So actually, the experience that I have shared, my experience that I have shared you, it's actually like a blueprint. Pwede nyo siyang sundan kung ano para maging isang successful na freelancer, but I am not forcing you to follow that all. It is also your choice. Your blueprint is your choice. It's your own life, but these are just my recommendation and tips um, that will allow you to to prepare you for being a successful freelance developer. So yeah. So last quote: if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. This is a quote from Richard Branson, the CEO of Virgin. Uh, so as I have said, this is connected. Is learn, learn, and learn. And actually, right now in our modern world, learning is easy because everything now is on the internet. So these are just some of my tips for being a freelancer. But if you want to learn more about not just about freelancing stuff, but also on the technology side, I'm also a mentor. And if you want to contact me, I'm just one way to contact. I'm CJ. My Facebook is CJ. Villafranca. You can also contact me in cjvillafranca.com. And if you want to access my repositories, so it's CGV13. So I have sample codes there if you want to learn more about JavaScript and other tech stuff. Then, if you want to join our community group, so it's Angular PH. Our group is Facebook. Here's our group. So I will just share my slides.com link, so you can access our Facebook group, and this is also our Facebook page, Angular PH. So that's it. Thank you for once again. Thank you for PH Tech Week 2021 for inviting me as a speaker, and I hope that you learned a lot from my tips and recommendations for being a freelancer. And my one last thing for that is it is your own choice for what will be your path, and just let my tips be a guide for you to be a successful freelancer. Once again, thank you, and good luck on your freelancing journey, and bazinga. Okay.
All right. So thank you so much for that very fruitful discussion, Mr. CG. So for our watchers or streamers or audience there, let's give him a round of applause, virtual applause. Okay, now I think we will have the Q&A portion. So I think while we are waiting for the questions of our audiences for today, I think uh, it is good to mention. So si Carl Marwin Apitong, so thank you for the walkthrough and tips. Napaka-helpful daw ng lahat ng to talaga sa amin mga bago and planning for a career shift, and God bless everyone. So ayan, so we're looking for questions. If you have questions, just comment on the uh, comment section. So let's look for the questions here. Uh, okay. So parang wala nagtatanong ah.
Wala
Parang
nagtatanong.
or narinig na
Tips
nila
lang.
lahat ng gusto nilang marinig. So let's see if
Thank
we
you,
have
Carl, for that.
Ayan, very fruitful kasi yung discussion. I think let's have the question here by Mr. Andrew Garcia. So what advice can you give to devs on how to overcome imposter syndrome?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for the question, Andrew. Actually, marami nagtatanong sa akin yan. Meron din ako na mentor niyan dati na meron siyang imposter syndrome. Na, ayun nga, if meron, may devs naman kasi tayo talaga na Stack Overflow, tapos copy-paste. Pero, ayun, siguro if my suggestion to overcome Stack Overflow is, I think one way is yun, learn tayo ng learn at para alam natin na sa sarili natin na napag-aralan ko naman to and ako naman talaga yung gumawa nito. It's okay, don't be, para sa akin kasi, parang wag kayong mag-guilty na lagi tayo nasa-Stack Overflow. Because ako, actually, aminado ako, I've been in this industry for 7 years already, pero minsan may mga parts na basics, pero isipin ko, ano nga ba ulit yun? Kailangan ko ulit si Stack Overflow. May times na ganun. So don't worry about that kasi even the senior, even the higher level developers, they're also doing that. Because sometimes hindi naman tayo superhuman na we can stack all of our knowledge eternally. So isipin lang natin na yun, yung nagawa naman natin siya by ourselves. Stack Overflow is just a guide for us. So, yun lang yung tingin kong recommendation sa mga devs.
Mhm. I think we can have the last two questions here in the essence of time. Let's have the question of Erwin Pacheco. Is guided freelancing like an agency?
Guided freelancing like an agency. Parang ganun din siya kasi yung sa naging work ko dati sa California is client ko yung nag-hire sa akin pero meron din silang ibang client. So parang ang agency din sila. Pero ano kasi mostly kasi ang client ko rin doon is yung mismong nag-hire sa akin. Kasi applications nila yun. So yun, parang naging contractual project lang ako sa kanila. So more of yeah, I can compare it also like an agency for that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think we have the last question here from Mr. Valdez. So the question is, do you have advice on hackathons to maximize learning? So medyo namimiss na nga nila yung hackathons daw.
Yeah. Do you have advice on hackathons to maximize learning? Siguro pag sa hackathons kasi, think out of the box. First is, huwag kayong mahiya makipag-connect sa ibang tao. Ang hackathon naman kasi iba't iba yung rules nila. Meron ako nasalihan na hackathon. For example, pupunta ka doon, but you have the chance to communicate with other and pwede ka makipag-team up. So, ang problem kasi minsan sa hackathon is, kanyari ako, actually, this is my first problem when I'm first joining hackathon. I know what to build. So, developer ako, but I am not aware that we should have also a business model. So, problems yun eh. Usually kasi pag ako na-experience ko sa hackathon, marami talagang developers na sumasali. Ang problem kasi sa part natin, minsan, wala talaga tayong idea dun sa business part, yung sa business model, paano ba tayo kikita doon. So, ang ano ko doon, para ma-maximize yung learning, hanap tayo ng ibang people na hindi naman involved sa technology. So, para magkaroon tayo ng ibang idea when it comes to business. Because in hackathons, some hackathons, they're not just looking how your app looks like or how your code looks like, but there are investors there that how they will earn on your application. So one way yun to maximize learning. So makipag-communicate. Second, second in terms of maximize learning siguro is, ayun, uh, listen carefully to the judges and in the investors itself. Kasi sila, may mga, usually mga judges doon is nagre-recommend sila kung ano yung mga, ano yung mga improvements, and at the same time, ano pa yung magagamit mo doon sa possible business. So, sa hackathons, if you want to join, so I also, I'm also recommending na kailangan bago nyo isabak yung isang idea nyo, is dapat may proof na talaga siya and meron na siyang MVP for that one.
Parang future proof.
Is
So I think we're all done for the question and answer portion. So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Seiji, for
yes,
that
thank you then.
discussion on freelancing in tech. And ayun, so halos wala na talagang tanong. So na-answer na ng
Answer
present.
na.
Ayan. So thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you then, June. Thank you for
Any
PH Tech.
advice, last advice for the people who wants to go to freelancing?
Freelancing, yes. Last advice siguro, ayun, yung sinabi ko kanina, be brave and be confident, but not overconfident. Because ayun, ako, ilang beses na rin ako naging, may full-time ako, pero may freelancer din ako. May freelancing work din ako as tech lead and dev trainer. So, be responsible. So, and don't guarantee lagi na may success. Siguro treat nyo rin yung freelancing nyo as full-time. Kung ano yung ginagawa nyo sa full-time is ganun din yung pagiging responsible nyo. And para, may client din kasi kayo. And hindi siya porket free time tayo. We're free na in doing whatever we want. So, yun.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. CG, once again. I think now we can move on with the announcement of winners sa ating game or raffle for today. And I hope you enjoyed yung presentation natin for today, yung starting from panel discussion and then progressive web apps and then yun nga, yung freelancing with Mr. CG. So now we will announce the winners for the photos of today. Are you guys ready? Okay, so the winners of our photos of the day are, ayan, so we have on Twitter at Codemaster24 and at Jenny Ronnie. Congratulations, ayan. And we have on Facebook, we have RC Seravla and Meryl Lerit. So congratulations. Ayan. And lastly, for the photos of the day winner, we have at Moa_Chan26. So congratulations for our photos of the day winners. Now, ayun, so kontakin namin kayo if on the details. And then also, don't forget to write your information dun sa link provided to claim your prizes. Ayan, so congratulations. Now, let's move on to the announcement of winners on our decoded raffle. So we have the winners here. For the first winner, we have Yas Versane. Second winner, we have Janelle Bakani. And then we have third winner, Andre Echo. And then fourth winner, we have Reden Marbelien. And fifth winner, Corazon Ann. And then the sixth winner, we have Ryan M. So congratulations for attending and winning the decoded raffle. And I think that is all for our Wednesday session for today. And we would like to thank you all and see you tomorrow for another round of fruitful discussion. And with that, ayun, maraming salamat sa mga nagko-comments dito sa ating stream on YouTube. Ayan, so thank you so much and have fun tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following co-presenters: Microsoft, Manulife, Filta Global, Gold Sponsor, Prospol, Silver Sponsor, Apper.ph, Participating Communities: AWS User Group Philippines, PWA Pilipinas, Angular Philippines, DigitalOcean Manila, Mozilla Philippines, Philippine Web Designers Organization, Product PH, Python Philippines, Women Who Code Manila, DevCon, Drupal Pilipinas, ulap.org, Ministry of Testing Philippines, React.js Philippines, Syntactics Pink, VR Philippines, WordPress User Group Philippines, Supporting Communities, Bicol IT, Google Developers Group Cagayan de Oro, Internet Society Philippines Chapter, Mobile.net Developers Philippines, UXPH, and Pizza Pie. To everyone, thank you!